Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah, what are we doing?
So
do we talk first or do we just...
podcast day?
Oh, God.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Empty Promise podcast. My name is Chris, and welcome to episode 128 of the Empty Promise podcast. What is it?
It's 127.
Oh, we're already off to a flyer. I am joined today by my best friend in the whole wide world, Mr. James D. Downey.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining us on what is the 128th. I'm away. I'm all over the place.
We spent like 5 minutes talking about how that's a special number.
I was just about to say, I've got so many numbers in my brain at the minute that I can't comprehend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand the reins over to you to tell the people about what we're talking about today, because it's a big conspiracy mystery kind of topic.
It's a big mystery, yeah.
Okay, tell us what we're going to be discussing.
It's a mystery riddle solving puzzle type situation. It's probably the strangest and most intriguing story I've ever heard on the internet. So it's an internet mystery.
And the internet's a big place.
The internet's a big place. It's been around for a while, and okay. I think this would stand up to the task of being the most interesting story.
Bizarre, interesting.
The most interesting mystery on the internet.
Oh.
Specifically related to the internet. I'm not talking about, we're not going to solve any crimes here.
Yeah.
We're not going to solve the Golden State murder crime here. But this is still a pretty nutty story. It's riddles, clues,
Perfect.
messages hidden inside of pictures, codes within codes.
Brilliant.
It breaks out into the real world, hunting down clues.
Right. And
I have it in my mind as like national treasure, but with computers.
Perfect. That's all you needed to say to get me so heavily invested.
Yeah.
Now I know so little about this going into it, bar the title. So the name of this is Cicada.
3301.
3301. Now, I know some people listening to it may have already heard of Cicada 3301. I haven't. I know so little about this. So everything you're going to be telling to me, D, I'm going to be hearing for the first time, basically.
You're along for the ride.
Now, I know we have some like audio clips and things to play throughout the podcast, so you may be hearing some little clips coming in and out to do with this mystery or whatever.
Bear with us, because the first time we're trying to do that.
Yeah. We have some new hardware to test here today, so everything's going to be brand new. But I think without further ado, why don't we get stuck into the mystery that is Cicada 3301?
Well, it all started on January 5th, 2012. With a picture posted to the website 4chan under the paranormal forum.
4chan still go?
4chan is still kicking, yeah. It's there and thereabouts.
Okay.
So if you're not familiar with 4chan, it's basically just like an internet forum. I think everyone posts anonymously on it, so it's kind of like totally anonymous. A lot of like on the early internet, it was kind of like a place where like people would talk about like anime and TV shows and kind of nerdy things, and it kind of fits in with what this story is about, which is quite it's kind of tailored towards people who are familiar with computers, the early internet, stuff like that. Today, 4chan is like a place where some dodgy shit can go down.
It's like on the precipice of dark web, I think, at this point, isn't it?
I think it is, because it's kind of just one of those. It's kind of lingered around long enough that the more mainstream people have like went off,
moved off to like the Reddits and the
the Twitters and stuff.
Yeah.
And the people who remain are a little bit more edgy. Let's put it that way. Not all over the place, but certain circles. Yeah.
There's a certain crowd dedicated to keeping 4chan alive.
But this is back in 2012, so it's not quite that scene yet. Although, do be aware, these are people who are a little bit more technically aware.
So 10 years ago?
Yeah, actually, it is 10 years ago.
Wow.
Over 10 years ago now.
Super.
That this all started. And it all started with a very basic picture. A picture posted onto the forum. It was white text on a black background, very basic. Mm-hmm. No trills, no bells, no whistles, and it simply read, "Hello. We are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that make it all the way through. Good luck," and it's signed 3301.
Okay. That's strange.
So that's the hook.
So 3301 is the person who created this?
Well, yeah. It's the entity or whatever is behind it. That's what they signed their name as. Okay, so if you're watching the video version, I'm going to try and get the image on screen.
Yeah.
I've showed you it before, Chris. It's very basic. Like there's nothing.
Have you got it there in front of you again?
No.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.
Because I'm jumping between multiple things.
Okay.
So it's a very basic image. I think we talked about like how if you seen that today on Reddit, it would just be, all right, this is someone taking the piss.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make an image like that in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
On your phone and put it up, and whatever, doesn't mean anything. But
yes,
we're in an a simpler time on the internet, Chris, and.
Yeah.
Because it was posted on this 4chan site, I guess you might think there's a little bit more weight behind it, although there's a lot of trolls on there.
Dude, were things only posted to 4chan like specifically to do with like this, like riddles and tests and things?
So it has its like different like sub forums, and this was posted to the paranormal sub forum. So kind of related to weird, mysterious things.
Okay.
That kind of jazz. So probably a good audience to try and get people to actually take this seriously.
People who are a bit more open-minded and
exactly
willing to spend a bit of time.
They want to believe, Chris.
Looking at a white text black background image. Yeah.
So yeah, some people took it seriously, and like pretty quickly, some people jumped onto it. Like, I mean, when you read things like highly intelligent individual, like you hear that today, you're just like, these people think they're
just
fucking
so
God's
obnoxious.
gift.
Like,
but they haven't a fucking clue. But it becomes quickly apparent that this is more than just a joke.
Right. So this is real, that it is going to have to be a highly intelligent person to
as
figure
we'll find
out.
I mean, they're going to have to be more intelligent than me, I tell you, because
Really?
I'm lost.
Have you tried to crack it? Have you tried to solve this?
I spent like 10 minutes and I realized immediately that no, I'm going to have to.
It wasn't for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is nutty. And I'll mention this actually.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the actual riddle. We're going to kind of walk through the first stages of it.
Okay.
And if you want, you can go on to, there's good websites that we'll link where you can kind of like try and do it yourself without us telling you what it is.
The riddle that is, yeah. Okay.
But I will warn you, like it's not just like like the Riddler from Batman solved this riddle and it'll lead you to a clue and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This stuff gets complicated fast.
Excellent.
But yeah, let's walk through it.
Okay.
The first thing they say, there's a message hidden in this image, right? So as we said, white text or black background. There's nothing there. Like there's nothing. You can play about with the contrast. You can like make it brighter, make it darker, do all that jazz. There's nothing. It's just white text. Okay. So what the hell are we gonna do?
Okay, and you can't like flip the image, as in like it's not backwards, upside down.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at like, is it hidden within the letters or something like that? Nothing there.
Okay.
So the solution is a little bit more technical.
Of course it is.
There's a tool called Outguess, which is like, we're really going to get into it here, Chris. Okay. So it's a piece of steganographic technology. Steganography is the practice of concealing a message within another message. So it's like,
this is a thing. This is a real thing. People do this.
I
think people did this maybe during the war or something. Maybe.
Oh, dude! Like the people are doing this for like thousands of years.
Oh, okay.
Like this thing is ancient. Like, do you ever hear about like people who would like tattoo a message on their head?
Yeah.
Grow their hair long, and then when they get to their destination, you would shave them, and like there's the messages hidden.
That's strange.
Like this is how far this shit goes back. But
okay.
Like obviously today it's a lot more advanced. So in this case, the image file you download it, and like if you look at the actual like data, like the bits. If you open it in like a text editor and it's like all these fucking numbers and symbols and shit.
Not the actual picture itself.
Not the actual picture itself. At the very end of that file, there's all these like random bits of information that have nothing to do with the
What
picture.
kind of information are we talking about? Like when it was created and all that kind
of
stuff?
No, like just like completely like this does not belong here. This stuff has just been added. It doesn't break the picture. But when you open a text editor, you can see. Use this tool called Outguess. You can see what they've actually added to it.
And is that the only way you would see this, is to use the tool Outguess?
Yeah, well, I think if you were like technically minded, you could probably just find it. Okay. But the tool just makes it. Yeah. Plug it in, it finds it.
But it's not a matter of like saving the image and right-clicking it or something. And
no, it's more
it's
more
a bit more in depth. Okay, so that's me out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what was my kind of thinking as well. And for like the people who are listening, like you're just like, this shit's going over your head. Don't worry, not too important. We're basically just going to like flow through how people solve this and find out what the hell is going on. Yeah. Okay, so the message that is hidden at the end of this file, it reads, Tiberius Claudius Caesar. and then it's followed by a string of random numbers.
Okay. So three names and a load of numbers.
Well, one name, Tiberius Claudius Caesar.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ancient Roman emperor dude.
So this was one dude named Tiberius Claudius
Yeah.
Caesar. It wasn't three different generals or anything.
Well, I think so. I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not an expert on the subject, Chris.
Okay.
Can
we get an expert?
I do have one on the line.
Good, yeah. Can we bring him in?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what? No. He's Greek expert, Chris. I'm sorry, that's embarrassing.
This is Roman that we're talking
God. But if you are familiar with like basic, like, I think I mentioned this before. If you've read something like the Dangerous Book for Boys, or like, you know, little like things like that when you were younger, like how to write code, secret messages to your friends and shit like that. Yes. This is like one of the oldest like kind of forms of like cryptography. A cipher. Is the Caesar cipher.
Oh, like a Caesar salad.
Yeah, but more delicious.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
In code breaking circles. Basically, it's like you take a letter and replace it, shift it by like a certain number, and then the new letter. Right,
so what you're saying is like if A equaled 1, B equaled 2, that kind of thing through the alphabet, you would shift everything down maybe by 3, so A would equal like 4.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So A would be D.
Yes.
In that case.
Yes.
And then, B would be E, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
You do that with the number 4, they worked it out. So basically they just had to like brute force it, keep trying until they found what it was.
Okay.
You do that with the number 4, and it reveals a link.
Okay.
To another website, which still exists, which I thought was pretty nutty.
Okay.
So like it's Imager, I don't know how you fucking pronounce it.
Yes.
And it takes you to another picture basically, and you can go and follow that link today, and it still takes you to the exact same picture.
And the picture is?
And the picture is, well, you'd probably be pretty disappointed to see it if I'm honest with you. So the picture is a duck.
A duck?
Yeah.
Like a standard, like the animal, a duck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what are you expecting, Chris?
I don't know.
It's actually a decoy duck. It's like an imitation duck that hunters would use.
So I'm looking at the picture here now.
You're looking at the picture.
Anybody who's listening to the podcast, I'll try to describe what I see. It looks like a mallard. Maybe like a wooden duck, you know. It looks.
The species of duck is very important.
Yeah, it's got like a yellow bill. It's got some nice brown looking feathers. It looks pretty wooden, but I don't know. As you say, it's a what duck?
A decoy duck.
A decoy duck. So it's not real.
It's not real. It's what hunters would use if they're trying to like draw out other ducks.
Okay.
So yeah, and then there's text on it as well, which says, "Whoops, just decoys this way. Looks like you can't guess how to get the message out."
So
it's a decoy.
They're just toying with you.
Yeah, and at this point, I would be like, they're fucking trolling. End of.
That's it. Yeah.
Come on.
There's nothing further than this.
Yeah, I mean they do the same tricks. You'd look at the image, there's a hidden message in it, blah blah blah. There's nothing. No, sorry, I tell a complete lie. There is another hidden message in the image, in the data, the text of the image.
So same thing again.
It's the same thing again. Basically, the text that says you couldn't get the message, you couldn't work out how to get the message out, was referring to that tool I mentioned earlier, Outguess.
Right.
So you plug it into it again, and I think it was hidden in a different way. So it wasn't just, you couldn't just do the same thing you did in the first image to get the message. It was hidden like much more complicatedly, complex. It was like literally like you with your human eyes would never have been able to break it. You needed this piece of software to do it.
Jesus.
So yeah. So now you needed it. So now, right?
If you can't see it with your human eyes, how is it even put in there in the first place?
Because it's using like random numbers and it's just like sticking in all over the place.
This is so crazy.
Yeah.
Already. I'm so, like, my mind's blown already.
Yeah. So now you, this is what I kind of mean. It's like
Matrix type shit, like numbers just scroll.
You just have to like, sit in and watch these numbers flow by, and you're just like, there's the first letter. And
we need like a montage from like a CSI hacker. You know those shows you watch, and the guy always does the same thing to hack into like a computer. Yeah. Just multiple tabs open, and he's like, I'm nearly there.
Man. There's like some show, I forget what it is, and it's like they're like trying to prevent a hack attack or some sort of hack attack. It's like fucking heart attack. They're trying to prevent like getting hacked, and like the person is like typing away, and then another person comes in to help and starts typing on the same keyboard, and they're just like, "Fuck me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, they're just typing fucking random letters." But dude, if you're trying to solve this puzzle, you might as well be typing fucking random letters, because
two of you on the keyboard as well. Like,
it's like this thing. You need this special piece of art or software rather to work out the next message.
And it's called outguess?
It's called outguess. This is what I kind of mean. It's like no normal person is going to have that installed on their computer,
Yeah.
or even know, have any idea what it is, or make that link from the words out and yes. Mm-hmm. But certain people would have made that link almost immediately.
What type of people would have that? Like, do you think?
Like people who like hobbyists who like solving puzzles and making puzzles for people.
So it's really only puzzle solving
Yeah.
stuff. You wouldn't have this if you worked in any other kind of field, or
Oh yeah, I mean, like if you're working like security and like
security. But I mean, like a doctor wouldn't have it, or
No.
like a plumber wouldn't
No.
have it, or
I'm a software engineer. Like I work day to
That's
day
your
with computers.
job.
I don't have
no
idea what it is.
Okay.
Not even remotely related to my
Fantastic.
field of work.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very specialist. And that's what I mean. Like to solve it yourself is like what?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, like they're narrowing down the type of people they're targeting. But they said right out of the gate, they said we're looking for highly intelligent individuals. Okay. Now, if you consider yourself a highly intelligent individual, you don't know about the software, don't worry. Okay, because they are looking. It's pretty clear they're looking specifically at people who know how to like decrypt images, how to like write code. You know, that type of person.
Those type of people.
Yeah, we don't like those people. We don't talk about those people here.
No, we don't.
If you're one of those people, I'm only joking. Come get in touch. Talk about it. Try and solve the puzzle and let us know how you get on.
Come shoot the shit with
Or
us.
play both sides. I don't, it's shameless and I don't care. So yeah, all of this reveals another message. So you're getting it. Yeah, there's got to be messages and clues linked to more clues and more clues.
Yeah.
It's a treasure. No, it's not a treasure hunt. It's a riddle, right?
It's a riddle, yeah.
It's a series of riddles. The next like code that they have to crack is a book code. I don't know if you've ever heard of this before.
No.
So basically, it's like you've got all these random numbers. You actually got like a list, and there's 2 numbers on each line.
Okay.
And so, kind of one number is the page, and then one number is
the word or the
like,
letter.
Yeah, the letter or the word on that page. But they don't know what the book is. So they got the code, but they don't have the book.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really fucking weird. There's a link. There's another code that you have to crack with a Caesar cipher, and it takes you to another link, which is a Reddit page.
Oh, okay.
And again, this Reddit page still exists, and we'll have it linked if you want to go visit it.
And what subreddit are we under here?
It's just a random number, random series of letters and numbers, so it's completely randomized. Okay, you go to the Reddit page, and it kind of says the book to crack the code you can find on this Reddit page. And guess what's on the Reddit page?
A picture of a book?
Picture of a fucking duck. No, no. Oh, if it was a picture of a book, you'd be loving life.
Okay.
No, it's random letters and numbers, like hundreds of posts of just random letters and numbers. And then there is one picture, which is of a welcome mat. Like, you have it for your house.
Just welcome.
Like a welcome mat. Yeah. Hidden inside that image of the welcome mat, so we're back to finding codes inside or messages inside of images. There was actually a very important note left there. And it said, from here on out, we will cryptographically sign all messages with this key.
So that you know that this is the official,
Exactly.
This is the actual one.
Exactly.
Because at this point, people could just start trolling and be posting random shit out.
So I guess at this point, it's starting to get kind of bigger.
Yeah,
Well, maybe they anticipated it getting big, and they wanted things to be like guaranteed that it's from them.
Yeah.
Not people.
Of course.
What do you call it? Copycats like taking over. And this key they continually use in the future to kind of like, if a message has this key, you can be 99.9% sure it came from the actual Cicada people or person.
And what is the key?
Persons.
Is the key important?
Again, it's just like random letters and numbers, but if you go, but if you go to like, I think they put like the public version of it on MIT servers in America.
Okay.
So if you go and download it, you just basically like validate that their random letters of numbers was generated by the legit people.
Okay.
It's basically.
Okay.
I don't want to get into that too much.
Of course not. There's too much letters and numbers going about.
Yeah. But basically, you can trust it. Right?
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
There was another image. Okay, and this one is fucking weird.
So you go onto this Reddit page, there's hundreds of pictures or images of random letters and numbers.
Yeah.
But there's one other image.
Yeah.
That isn't the doormat?
And it isn't the doormat, no.
Okay.
It's a legit picture. Well, I mean, I say it's a legit picture. Wait till you see it. And it's up on screen as well. Have a look at that and tell me what you think. What the hell is going on?
Okay, so what it looks like to me is it kind of looks almost like a tapestry.
Mm-hmm.
you know, like one of the old tapestries that you would have seen, like woven from years ago that's hanging up. Only it looks like it's been duplicated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 20 times on top of each other. It looks almost like there's like a stained glass window has been put onto a carpet. Is how I would describe it. It looks like there's a figure standing there. It could be like a pope or a bishop or something. It could be the spine of a book either. I can't really tell, but there's a lot of them.
That is a unique description. A stained glass window put on top of a mat.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
Yeah.
There's also like that, like distortion.
There's a distortion right through, so I can't fully see the image. I should have said that.
What this distortion is meant to be, and I can't work this out. Like,
so the distortion is actually going to make an image, is it?
Yeah, it's meant to be like part of it. It's called a stereogram picture, and the idea is that if you look at that from a specific angle, it looks 3D.
Yeah.
It just looks like pure nonsense to me.
Have you not seen this? Have you not seen this?
I haven't seen it. No, it doesn't look 3D. I've looked at it from a couple of different angles, and it's just not like. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Hey, it's on screen right now. If you want to like start like moving,
if you want to start moving, yeah, maybe you could see it, and if you do, that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
if you move around your TV, above your TV, below it, your phone, whatever you're watching.
I haven't a clue.
Maybe you got to be like 20 feet away to the right.
The picture again, another hidden message inside of the image.
Of course,
this is getting old.
Yeah.
This, you know.
Yeah.
It says the key has always been right in front of your eyes. So, right, that doesn't really help.
No,
but you can keep analyzing the picture and see if that maybe has a clue in it. So certain commenters have said, and I'm not sure what they're referring to specifically, but they've said that the picture that's duplicated 20 times looks like a scene of the Holy Grail.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you were kind of getting that, like that religious element to it. So at the bottom of their message, they say, "This isn't the quest for the Holy Grail. Stop making it more difficult than it is."
So it's something, people are starting to overthink this, maybe, are they?
Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe they're throwing that in there.
To throw people off the scent.
Exactly.
It really is the Holy Grail.
So, I don't know what the hell to think about the Holy Grail. But the key has actually been right in front of your eyes the entire time. On Reddit, so there's all the posts, and there's all the images and stuff that they've posted to Reddit. But there's also a header image at the top of the page.
Okay.
And you'll love this, Chris.
Okay.
Because on the header image at the top of the page, there is this picture, which is a series of Mayan symbols.
Ooh.
Mayan numbers and I'm not sure letters.
You know I love me some Mayan.
Oh, dude, so do I. And I mean, again, I don't know what to make of these. I don't know what Mayan numbers are.
Okay, so
you can scroll left and right there. Again, this is up on screen.
So basically, it's a series of lines or dashes and dots. We have like the first image is like 2 lines, then 2 dots, then 2 lines of 4 dots, 2 dots.
It goes on in that vein.
Oh, there looks also like a loaf of bread.
Exactly. What the hell? There's a loaf of fucking bread. I don't understand.
Or is it a canoe or a boat? I don't even know what that is. It could be a sandal.
So like, I don't know what's going on now.
So these lines, dashes, and dots must represent some kind of lettering.
Numbers.
Is it Morse code, maybe?
I don't. Yeah.
Dot, 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 dash, dash, dot, dot.
But
dot.
it is the key. The key is in here somewhere.
Jeepers.
I obviously do know the solution because I've read on. But yeah, like
a loaf of bread.
A loaf of fucking bread. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, what's
That's
happening?
strange.
But now, like this
is that just to completely throw you off the scent? Do you think?
I don't know. It could be legit. I didn't get too deep into it to actually understand.
Yeah.
Again, you can go online and there's like walkthroughs of exactly what the puzzles are, and the solutions to them, and what all the different elements mean. But we're just getting so weird now. Like now we've kind of moved on from like strictly there's computer stuff and there's like codes and you have to use special software. And now we've got the Holy Grail and we've got Mayan fucking symbols. And
they're going like way apart, like far fields with this.
Yeah, they're going to some weird places.
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps going that way.
It's kind of intriguing.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of more like more
involved.
I want to find like the map hidden in the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Yes,
that's the type of zone I'm in right now.
You got lemon juice and a hairdryer.
And there's Nick Cage for you in this episode. Always got to have. So where am I, Chris? God, things get so confusing.
So dots and dashes. This was the header of the Reddit page the entire time.
Yes. So this was the key to working out the rest of the random shit on the page, basically. And okay, I've kind of written it here. It's like things start to get even more complex, like in terms of puzzle solving and like cryptographic techniques of working out what all these things mean and ciphers and all that shit. If I was going to go through all of the puzzles this way, we'd be here for about 9 hours.
Okay.
None of us would come out any the wiser about what was actually
Tell me this. When this is posted, was this posted all together all at once, or was this posted over a series of days and weeks, or was this posted...
By the time people worked out the code to get here, it was all there.
The next piece was there. Okay.
Yeah, it was all there. So yeah, for the sake of brevity, I'm kind of just going to flow through the rest of this first puzzle. And that's right, this is the first puzzle. So bear with me. So the Mayan numbers were used to decrypt the random messages that were posted on Reddit, which revealed an excerpt from a book about King Arthur. King Arthur was at Calarian upon Usk, blah, 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 blah. It's a very long kind of paragraph taken from that book. That's the book for the book code. Using the numbers from the image you found in the duck, you solved the book code, which reveals this message. Call us at telephone number 214390968.
A legit telephone number has been put.
Legit telephone number. Now, there was a guy he's done a couple of things on YouTube. And you can go watch these. And again, they're linked down below. And he mentioned that at the time, whenever they were trying to work out like what all this was, some of the people, the solvers they're called, they rang up the phone company to try and find out, who registered this number, blah, blah, blah. And they used some, he called it social engineering, kind of like, like trying to convince the people on the line that, oh no, we really need this.
We need this,
blah, blah, to get the information.
Yeah, because you can't just hand out information.
Exactly, right? But all the customer service number or records related to that number were gone.
No way.
Yeah, legit. They couldn't get any information about it.
What?
Yeah. So yeah.
What would make that happen?
Well, that's what I'm not sure. Like, were they working in the phone company, or did they hack in? And because we can see that they're computer savvy, all right, at least.
Did they hack in and remove all the details?
I don't know. It's strange,
dude.
It's strange, but well, when you rang that phone number,
yes.
Well, this is what you heard.
Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com on the end to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
How fucking weird is
that?
What?
Oh my goodness. So, let me get that right. So, you have to... There's three numbers. There's three
prime numbers hidden in that very first image. The one that had the black background and the white text.
Jesus, one of them is 3301, and you have to multiply the three numbers that you find to get an answer. Add .com, and that'll take you to the next.
That'll take you to the next clue. Yeah.
How are you supposed to find another 2 numbers in that?
I know, and they've already been digging through and messing around with that image.
And it's prime numbers.
Prime numbers. That helps though, because obviously.
Prime,
we were looking for prime numbers.
And it's not just a case of like rearranging those numbers, like 3301 to 1330.
No. Well, actually, I mean, the clue I have like right here, basically, it's not. I think they actually got it pretty quickly. But yeah, it's pretty weird that like the phone number was like someone set up a phone number for this purpose. All right, so like it's not just a case of post a picture to Reddit anymore.
Yeah, they've gone to great lengths to ensure.
And then they've gotten rid of the evidence or whatever related records there were about setting up that phone number. And they had this automated voice playing. That's so fucking weird.
It's creepy, dude.
It is kind of creepy. This was, I think I mentioned this to you, like, whenever I heard that, I listened to that little snippet.
If I heard that, I would assume, Jesus, I've gone too far.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is some dark shit,
But no,
My goodness.
when I heard that, I was like, okay, we're doing a podcast on this.
We're invested.
Because this is fucking...
This is weird.
This is weird.
Okay.
You were saying like you're getting too far. Some of these people, they were not worried about that one, but they had,
Obviously not.
They had to keep going to
Yeah.
find out what was next.
Jeez, dude.
So the numbers, the numbers that were hidden,
Yes.
turns out it's actually not too bad, not too complicated. The resolution of the picture was 509 by 503,
Okay.
both prime numbers.
Okay.
So if you times 509 by 503 by 33001, that gets you 845145127.com.
Jeez.
Go to that link, and you're greeted by a picture, an image of a cicada,
Oh.
which is a cricket.
a cricket
Or a
yeah.
locust, or type,
Yeah.
some sort of
Yeah.
bug type thing. All right.
Yeah.
Now, Cicada 3301, that's obviously where the name comes from. Don't know what the hell, why a
Why I
cicada?
had to do, yeah.
What's the cicada about? But below the cicada, a little bit more important for our purposes, there was a countdown.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it's ticking down.
Oh
Chris.
no, dude.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Now, unfortunately, this website isn't going anywhere, so you can't go and see, what they
I would
saw.
imagine the countdown is over.
The countdown is over, that's correct. As a matter of fact, the countdown was going to reach zero on the 9th of January at 5 p.m., 1700 hours.
9th of January of that year.
Of that year. So that kind of
2013?
puts the 2012.
2012, sorry.
So it kind of puts it in context. Like, this started on the 5th, and this countdown is on the 9th. Like, it's only been 4 days. This has all been
Jeez.
happening.
Why did I assume this was like over weeks and weeks?
Because it's fucking so complicated.
So someone had to solve all this in like 4 days.
People were solving this shit so fast. Like, and like
Whoa.
they got to this website like a couple of days before, it was going to hit zero.
That's
So
weird.
like they were just like boom, 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 like just ramping through it.
There's some smart people out there, dude.
So Chris, 9th of January, this countdown is going to hit zero. Not sure what to expect. Well, at this point, it's been going 4 days-ish. 5 p.m. comes and the countdown ends.
Okay.
Nothing seems to objectively change. But the cicada, the image of the cicada.
Yeah.
If you downloaded it and
Oh,
you
Jesus.
looked for a hidden message inside of it, before they did this, and it was basically like a little comment that said, "Be patient."
Oh,
Right.
okay. But so you had to wait for the countdown time.
You had to wait for the countdown at the end, and then when they
So it's almost given people a chance who haven't got that far yet, because it's almost like they want like floods of people to be there at once.
So they're looking for people, intelligent people. They don't want to just like get the first person and then just like they want like a group
It's like
of
a
people.
build up, like a backlog. They're waiting for a load of people to come through.
We want to pick the best of the best. And now, Chris, so the countdown has ended. You download the picture, and the message that is hidden within it has changed. It is a series of numbers.
Of course it is.
More specifically, coordinates.
Oh, dude, no. So we're actually
That's what I meant.
Jeez,
we're
what?
out in the real
We're
world.
out. So you can't just do this from behind the screen.
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
Oh, I like this. It's like a treasure hunt.
Now we're asking for commitment. Now you actually have to go places.
This
and
is
Chris,
the Declaration of Independence.
exactly.
Oh my
Get the
goodness.
images ready. And when I say like go to these locations, it's global.
Oh, you're joking.
It's global. It's California, Australia, Hawaii, South Korea, Russia, Poland. Like it's nearly every continent. Obviously not Antarctica. All over the world.
My goodness. So I wonder, has any one person? I'm sure you'll get to this. You get to this and tell me. But has any one person actually? No, I'm sure they haven't. But managed to be in all these locations, or was it a case of contacting people maybe in Australia who were solving this? Tell me what you got. I'll tell you what I got.
Or is it
Bullshit.
Is Cicada got people in Australia?
Oh, that's weird.
Dude. Is it a group of people? And like obviously, this is what these people
like
are
a
thinking.
cult. Oh.
Like our cult. And we will talk a little bit more. We're going to talk a little more about Cicada, who they
Starting
are,
not to like this,
and what they're all about. Yeah, I mean it's getting weird now. These phone calls,
fucking weird.
and they're asking you to go out places. That's
Out in the
strange.
open. You know, realistically, like if I was doing a treasure hunt and I said I pick a real secluded spot and be like, at this like trash can in the middle of this field is where you gotta go, and I see one person walking up there, there's nothing to stop me from just kidnapping that person.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You have no control over the situation. You have to go to the coordinate that they have specified, and they know everything about it ahead of time. But people go quite willingly. Obviously, they're just on the hunt. They just want to solve the riddle.
Dude, this is like Forrest Fenn again.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So people get up off their computer chairs, get away from their computers. They go out into the real world, and what they find at these coordinates. So there's obviously multiple coordinates, but at each of the coordinates, there is a picture, an image, printed out. Oh, sorry, obviously. We're now in real space, Chris. We're no longer in our virtual environment.
Oh yeah, so he can't download this image.
Yeah, exactly. I've just lost my bloody notes is what I've done here.
That's fine. You take a minute. I'm trying to process this.
So yeah, they discover these posters, and on again the cicada image, the same cicada image that was on the website is now on these posters, and below it is a QR code. So
right, were QR codes available?
Yeah, that's what I was surprised by as well. I
thought QR codes were like a recent thing.
They were probably like super recent back then, but obviously this is the type of group that are like
they know about
QR codes and know about all this stuff. So you scan the QR code, and I think. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my notes are just talking about what we've already talked about. Like, yeah, people had to go to these physical locations. Like, the level of commitment has just ramped up like quite considerably. Like, you can't just sit behind your computer now and work everything out. Yeah. Like, you have to go to these places.
Okay, so you go there and there's a QR code.
Yeah, and the QR code contains another book cipher. So the same thing that we've seen before. And again, we need to work out what the book is to solve the code.
Okay.
But it also has an additional little message, a warning. And it says, "You've shared too much to this point. We want the best, not the followers. Thus, the first few there will receive the prize."
No. Yeah. So now it's turning into a race?
Now they're narrowing down the pool of people.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, it's turning into a race. It's like the first people to solve this, they're the ones who are going to get the prize. We don't know what the prize is.
I don't know if I want to know what the prize is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, well, some people definitely want it. They want it desperately. They want it badly, Chris. And that kind of touches on like what has been happening up until this point. Like, people have been on 4chan. They've been on these like chat groups talking, helping each other solve the riddle, sharing ideas, sharing information and stuff. So now that they're trying to put an end to that. They kind of want people. We want the people who solve this to solve it themselves because they want them to be the best. That didn't actually stop. Some of these people took pictures of the posters and shared it online anyway, maybe before they knew what the QR code was. Mm-hmm. So like other people were still able to work out the pictures, even if they didn't go there. So it kept it kind of pretty open in that respect. But yeah, this is kind of the end of people sharing all of their information and talking about it like publicly online. Which is kind of a problem for us.
Yeah.
Because now people took the information and they went offline.
Yeah.
And they went dark.
So how do we know more about this? Like, how did this?
Well, in terms of solving the puzzle, we don't. So the later stages of this puzzle, like what happens at the next book and the next cipher and the next clue, blah blah blah, we don't actually have any like evidence of it, or what it was and how to solve it.
Right.
So it goes offline, and like to this day, like that's still the case. Like, they don't have a full like catalog of the whole puzzle, so it kind of ends there. But we do have details about what happened.
Okay.
That kind of like crept up over time, and obviously I've talked about people who have solved it, who have subsequently put up stuff on YouTube and talked about it. So we personally don't get to follow the hunt right to the end, but a month after everything kind of went dark, after people stopped sharing, a new image pops up on the Reddit page. White text on a black background, and it read, "Hello, we have now found the individuals we sought. Thus, our month-long journey ends for now." And there's some other stuff in there. At the end, it kind of says, there will be more opportunities like this one.
Ooh. Okay. So it's almost like a recruitment. It is. It's a recruitment process for something. Yeah.
So yeah, they found the individuals that they wanted, and that's the end of the hunt. What the hell happened to the people who solved it?
Who went out?
Who worked it out?
Who were these individuals?
And like, what was the prize? Like, what the fuck happened at the end? What do you get? Well, eventually an email leaked.
Okay.
And obviously it wasn't supposed to have been shared because they were telling people to stop sharing stuff. We're going to touch on it a little bit more at the end.
Okay.
For now, all I'll say is that the email was an invitation. So it's kind of called the invitation in the community of people who worked on Cicada, or tried to solve Cicada. Each person who received the invitation went completely dark after the puzzle. So they weren't like, they were active on like 4chan doing other stuff, like not Cicada stuff.
Yeah, but once after they got this, everything went dark, almost if their profile didn't exist.
Exactly. They just weren't posting anymore. Whatever was going on was a well-kept secret.
Okay.
So we will talk about the email in a little bit and get a little bit more to the nitty-gritty about like what the hell are they doing? Are they recruiting? Who are they? What are they global? Is it multiple people? Is it one person? But before we get to that, we have to talk about what happened on January 5th, 2013.
Okay, so a year has passed.
A year to the day has passed since the Cicada puzzle began. Mm-hmm. And up pops an image on the Reddit page. White text, black background. Hello again. Our search for intelligent individuals now continues. The first clue is hidden within this image. Find it and it will lead you on the road to finding us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck.
So it starts again.
3301. Part 2, baby.
Okay.
And it's the same kind of script.
Kind of process.
A riddle. There's a riddle in the message and a book code. You solve the riddle. It reveals the book is The Book of Law by Aleister Crowley.
Okay.
I didn't do much research into Aleister Crowley, but he was kind of like a prominent individual back in his day, and like published a lot of works.
How long ago are we talking?
I have no idea. Okay. I should have investigated Aleister Crowley, but you've definitely probably heard the name. He's a bit of a philosopher type of dude. Had some interesting ideas.
Okay.
The code reveals a link to another website, which is a file on Dropbox. So Dropbox was about back in 2013, which surprised me as well. The file is a complete computer operating system based on Linux.
Right.
So like, you got Windows in your computer?
Yeah.
They created a complete operating system that you loaded up onto any computer and it just ran. It wasn't Windows. It was a custom like version of Linux.
Who the hell are these individuals, D?
Well, Chris, they can create a fucking operating system, if that tells you anything. And
okay, so like I know this is going to sound like a stupid question, but would it be difficult to create an operating system?
I mean, it wouldn't be simple. You'd have to have a
team. Would you need a team?
You could probably do it by yourself. People there have been programmers who have done it themselves before. Yeah, for sure. And because Linux is like open source, you can take what is Linux today or a version of Linux today and then just build upon it.
Okay.
So it probably wouldn't be that difficult, and one person could definitely do it. But kind of the thing that confuses
me... Could you do it?
It could take me a very long time to work out how to do all the bits and pieces.
Okay. So I could not.
You could not.
No.
I don't think. Not without some training.
No.
But the thing that kind of gets me is like, how many people are going to see this?
Yeah.
Like, before you can write a riddle, hide it in an image, and away you go, and keep her lit. Phone number is kind of a little bit more involved. The posters were pretty involved. But now you're writing like software that only a handful of people will ever see for the sole purpose of a fucking riddle, of a puzzle.
Maybe they realized after the first one that not that they made them too easy, but they had too much of like an influx of people.
Yeah.
And they decided they had to narrow this down faster, quicker.
We have to make it harder, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to me, like that they made this thing. But here's what happens when you load this OS up, right? You run it on your computer.
It blows up.
No, the first thing that greets you is a message that says, the key is all around you.
Jesus.
Good luck, yeah. So now, there's stuff that's preloaded on this OS, right? So there's like a file system and there's like files that are hidden in and among it.
Do they have Minesweeper?
I don't know, actually. It's a good question. We should find that out if they had games and stuff. But they had like loads of like random little things, like that little files. And like folders that had like strange names, but like nothing really that led to like a key or a clue or a riddle or the next part. But like it is very strange, the stuff that they had on it. Like, and you can see that they put a lot of time and effort into naming the things that they named, the things that they named them, and putting them in the places that they put them. And one example of this is another kind of creepy thing, man. So there was a there was a file, an MP3 file.
Oh.
Called 761.mp3.
761, is that another prime number?
That is a prime number. And in fact, it's actually a recursive or inverse prime number. So 761 is a prime number and 167 is also a prime number.
Yeah.
And we actually should have mentioned, so 3301 obviously is a prime number. And prime numbers are very important in cryptography. So if you're writing things to like encrypt or decrypt files, information, blah, 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 prime numbers are used extensively in that.
Why?
I don't know. They're just like, mathematicians out there probably know this, but it's like prime numbers are just special. They're just special numbers. They're just really good.
That's strange to me that a number could be special.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This mystifies me as well.
To like a layman who doesn't use numbers like the way that mathematicians use
exactly.
them, to me it's just a number.
Yeah.
But to them, it's not.
It's so important.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's because it can only be divided by itself and one.
Yeah.
So there's just less ways to like, there's just less variables with it.
Okay.
So if you're making a code built on a random prime number, like
Yeah.
there's just less ways to brute force it, basically. I don't know how it works, all right?
Okay.
All I know
That's
is that
fine.
it is important, basically.
Okay. So we have an MP3 file.
We have an MP3 file, and I
Are we going to get to listen to this?
I did pull it down to
Dude.
have a little listen to it. And
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like let's just put it on and see how we go here. But
So before you play this was the MP3 file that's built into the operating system that these people made.
it was just found on the operating system, just
Okay.
sitting there, right?
Okay.
And it's got a prime number associated with them. We're kind of like, what is this?
Okay, let's have a listen.
So I don't know what you want to make of that,
That's
Chris.
super weird. So it's just like a little guitar piece.
Yeah, a little fucking piece of. I'm not sure what it is.
Dude, that's weird.
And it's 2.5 minutes.
And that just
2 minutes,
continues
50
just like
seconds long.
that. Just like that.
Yeah, it's a full on song. Like you can listen to it, and it'll like play. You know, it has main bits, middle bits, and it changes as it goes through it. I've actually paused it there now.
Okay.
But it's 3 minutes long. It's 2 minutes 50 seconds. Like it's a long song.
Jeez.
And it was created to go onto an operating system, hidden away in a folder that would only be ever witnessed by a handful of people.
So it's not even like, you know, when you get like a new phone, like a Samsung phone or an iPhone,
Yeah.
and they have that like
No.
pre-built in, like here's the horizon, greet the dawn,
bullshit,
MP3.
yeah.
You know, it's not like that.
No, this is bespoke, created music. And actually,
And it
if
was
you
hidden.
look at the metadata for it, like it's got a title. It's called "The In-Star Emergence," and the author is 3301.
Oh Jesus, of course it is. The In-Star Emergence.
Yeah, and I don't know what that means, the In-Star Emergence, but it does come up again.
Okay.
So we'll head back to that. Okay.
Jesus, dude.
So yeah.
This takes some work. I don't think this could be an individual. It couldn't be an individual doing all this. This takes way too much work. Dude.
I mean, there could be just a very talented musician, programmer, cryptographer, and
Mathematician.
have the resources to fly all across the world.
I don't know.
I mean, it
don't
could be.
believe
It could be a Bruce Wayne type,
Maybe.
person. I
Maybe.
mean, he's not good at music though, but that's
True.
Don't worry about that. So yeah, we talked about 761 is an inverse prime number, which obviously when these people are like looking for clues, when they see things like a prime number, they're like, that's important. That's a
Yeah.
potential clue. And weirdly, so like they did loads of analysis around these music files. Like they did like audio analysis, they did all this kind of drilling down. And too much to cover in this podcast, I'm afraid. But when you combined this music file, right, there was instructions found on a Twitter page, which was, I think it was an official 3301 Twitter page that they put up. And they put up these weird instructions. And if you combined this music MP3 file with like a completely different process, something you would never do to a music file.
Yeah.
Somehow, it's completely lost to me how this happens, but somehow it spits out an image file. So somehow you put music in the input, put it through this fucking algorithm, and out comes a fucking image file.
What?
And I'm like,
How would that be done?
I don't know, Chris, because it's a legitimate music file. It's not like the music file. It's just like noise, and then they've written like a picture inside of it somehow.
It's actual music.
It's actual music, and some hidden
MP3 file.
Hidden inside that music is the code, the data to produce an image. And the fucking image, we're getting we're gonna get lost very quickly here.
Deep here, D.
The image is. It's called the Gematria Primus. And I don't know what a Gematria is, Chris. Or a Primus.
That was a G?
G-E-M.
G-E-M.
Or maybe Gematria? I have no idea. And this is what I said. Like, things are going to get completely... They're not going to make any sense anymore, basically, after this.
This is so niche, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, there is a specific group of people that these people are looking for.
I have the Gematria Primus up here for you, Chris, if you want to have a look at that.
Okay, so what I'm saying is...
It's on screen as well.
So they're runes. They're basically runes, aren't they? Isn't that what that looks like? Yeah. It is rune, letter and value. Okay. So it's what the Gematria Primus, an order and value as received through 3301. So it's 2 tables, 3 columns. One of them is a rune column with the corresponding letter with the corresponding value beside it.
Yeah.
Jesus, I am lost with that one. Dude.
It's like the full alphabet. Actually, it's more than that because there's
more runes.
Yeah,
isn't there?
There's variations and there's E.
It could be I/O. It could be
Basically, it is a code that we don't understand.
So we don't know what this table could even mean yet.
At this point, no. So we have runes, letters, and numbers, and they're linked somehow, but we're not sure how, and we're not sure what they're used for. And you know what the weird part is?
Oh, now you're going to tell me the weird part?
Well, yeah. So the Gematria Primus is another image that they've just designed. They've stuck on. You have to solve all these codes to get here. It's not relevant. It doesn't. You don't solve the puzzle using the Gematria Primus. It's just there. It's just a file that exists. After putting a song into an algorithm to get an image, that's.
So those tables you just showed me mean nothing.
Not for this puzzle, no. So yeah, the runes are Anglo-Saxon, if that helps.
It does not.
And the numbers are all prime. So there's numbers, letters, and the runes. So the runes are Anglo-Saxon, and all the numbers are prime. So again, prime numbers are popping up here for some reason. There is a hidden message inside the image. So the image.
You gotta stop with this.
The image comes. The image was hidden inside a fucking song.
Of course it was.
And there's a message hidden inside the image.
Okay.
Which reveals another dark web address. A dark web address. So you know the dark web?
Yeah. That's a place you don't really want to be spending too much time.
I mean, dark web is kind of in the name, isn't it? It's like, so it's basically the dark web is like the internet, but not the regular internet.
It's like the dark, the internet well after dark. You get shit and
everything is anonymous. So everything is private, anonymous. You can't trace anybody, and you can't see where.
It's amazing that it even exists.
I mean, as soon as the internet existed, this was always going to exist.
You can hire hitmen on the dark web.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they allege. Because you're not going to be paying them with money. You're going to be paying them with like cryptocurrency that's untraceable, untrackable, blah, blah, blah. And they can just take your money and run like.
Oh, goodness, dude.
So yeah, the dark web. I probably should have mentioned that in the first puzzle, the dark web came into it very late on. Mm-hmm. So after they were told, like, don't share any more information, blah, 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 it all went dark web. And the reason being, you can't trace. You can't
trace anything in the dark web.
You're totally anonymous when you're on the dark web.
Nobody can trace it. Like could even the FBI trace it? No.
I mean, maybe if they had like special methodology.
So there's maybe a chance someone in the world could trace the dark web,
but basically,
we couldn't.
The idea is that once you're on the dark web, you can't go on. You can't just go on Google and get onto it. Like you need special you need special software. You need special addresses. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know. I thought anyone could access it.
I mean, anyone probably could, but you need to get the right.
Yeah.
Like programs, and you need to get the right addresses
like,
and stuff.
YouTube the dark web and you'll see the kind of shit that comes up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
That's an episode for a podcast right there.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah, we should do that actually.
But basically, we're back on the dark web.
Okay.
At this point. But unlike last time, whenever they went onto the dark web, we actually have information about what happens next. So we could follow on a little longer, Chris. Which you may not be happy to hear, because it could just get completely confused.
Because there's another
dark.
image with a hidden message inside the image.
I mean, it leads to one website leads to another.
Feels like they're getting tired.
Yeah, well, I feel like now they're just like, we got to make more hoops for them to jump through to make sure we're getting like the cream of the crop.
Yeah. True, actually.
I'm just going to go through and highlight kind of like the weird and interesting parts of the puzzle from this one, at this point forward. So one dark website leads to another dark website. At one point they're told patience is a virtue. So like a hidden message, probably from a picture, says patience is a virtue. And then also, so you could dig in another layer, find another hidden fucking message inside of this hidden message. There was a comment that said, basically this means come back later. So like people didn't get what that meant. Yeah. But this is cool. In a rare mistake, one of these websites, it kind of went down or something, and it threw back an error code. Okay. So you try to go on, and it's like, oh no, we can't, blah blah blah, for this reason.
Did you get to play the little Google dinosaur?
No, there's no Google dinosaur on the dark web, Chris.
Oh, this is dark web?
Oh, this is all dark web.
Oh, okay.
Brother. But in the error message that got spat back, it had the IP address of the server that it was hosted on.
Okay.
Which
that shouldn't happen though.
No, exactly. Dark web. Untraceable, untrackable, blah blah blah.
But here's
but
the
something
IP address.
happened, yeah. And basically someone discovered this when the site was like broken, not responding, got the IP address. Shortly after the site got taken down.
Right.
So they leaked a little of their information. Something got leaked out. I don't think anything ever came of that. But basically, as soon as they thought that they were compromised, even a little bit, so like it's like, oh, they could potentially work out where we are geographically based on this IP address, which they mightn't even have been able to do because you can mask it in loads of different ways. But as soon as they were even a little bit compromised, it just site's down. It's gone. A new site was eventually brought back up, where players found another hidden link.
That's a pattern, dude.
But this time they actually played on it. So like this time the website like response code, whenever it's down, that had the clue in it.
Oh, okay.
So they found the next link to a third dark web page, which revealed coordinates. So we're back out into the real world. The coordinates revealed more posters, but instead of QR codes.
Where were these posters? Did we ever find out?
So yeah, they were in different locations, but they were still worldwide.
Did we ever find out where the locations were? Like was one in like a coffee shop? Was one in?
Oh no, sorry. So they were outdoors. I actually have pictures that I'll have up on the video.
Yep.
So they were just on like street lamps, posts, walls,
that's what I
stuff
mean,
like that. They were out in public.
Yeah.
And they were pretty like commonly traversed areas. They weren't like in a back alley and under a fucking fridge or some shit like that.
Okay.
It was all publicly and easy to find. So yeah, more coordinates. This time they didn't do QR codes though. They did phone numbers. And each poster had a code that you had to say or whatever.
When you rang the number?
Or input when you enter the number. So now you can't put it online and let people do whatever. Each coordinate provided a code, and five of the codes were needed to reveal the next message. So you got one code from your poster.
Yep.
And now
but I have to wait on 4 other people.
You have to work out with those 4 other people or more that this... How do we like link these codes together to find out the next code? There's a name for that puzzle. I haven't written it down. But
that's the idea.
Things are getting complex as fuck, basically.
It was already complex. Dude, after that first picture, it was complex.
Oh, man, it's so in-depth. So the solvers get another address for a new site, and on that site... okay, we've seen some weird shit, Chris, right?
Yes.
On this website, there is a quiz. A test, if you will, that you have to...
Like, which type of vegetable am I?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like BuzzFeed's,
Yeah.
Are you Team Edward or Team Harry, whatever the fuck it is?
Jacob, dude.
Jacob, whatever.
Dude, come on. Team Harry.
I don't know, man. Right, this quiz is something else. Now, I haven't written down all the questions. There's like 13 or 14 or maybe even more questions. And there's screenshots of these that people who did the quiz have answered or have put up.
Okay.
And there's a timer. So it's not just,
you can't just take all day. You gotta be quick.
These questions, Chris.
Have you got some of them?
I have some.
Oh, good.
And they are absolutely bizarre. Some of them are like mathematical, like, what is C in this equation?
And there's only one, is it multiple choice?
It's multiple choice.
But there's only one right answer.
Fuck if I know, Chris. Will you hear some of the questions? You can tell me. What do you think? Some of them were like open-ended. Some of them were like philosophical, like if a tree falls in the woods, no one hears it type of shit. And then some of them just don't make any sense at all. So the first question I have here is a sample. This is the question.
Yeah.
There is no truth. And then you have multiple answers, which is true, false, indeterminate, meaningless, and then a couple of other.
That's the question. There is no truth.
Yeah. What's the answer? Is it true, false, indeterminate, meaningless, or other?
True. There is no truth.
There you go. How could that be true, though? How can I trust that it's true? You cannot step into the same river twice. If it's flowing, can you?
You can step.
Timer's ticking down,
Oh,
by the way.
Dude. So you can't.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yes,
tick,
you can.
Tick, tick. You can? Okay, fair enough. I wouldn't have said that. But this is what the people who are like doing it are probably like wondering, like, what the fuck do they want from me? This sentence is false. True, false, indeterminate.
Dude, what is going on with these questions?
All things are true.
So there's a lot of truth-based stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a pattern here with this.
It's
too.
kind of philosophical.
It's very philosophical. I thought it was going to be something simple.
But some of them are like kind of like, what is C in this equation? And
Okay.
Like, blah, 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 blah. This is my favorite. What does the word it refer to in the following sentence? It is dark outside?
It is dark outside, question mark?
Question mark?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if the question mark is for the original what does the word it mean in the following sentence, or if it is part of the sentence. But it's there, so I read it. Is it dark outside?
No, I've only been listening to you ask these questions for about a minute, and already my head is
I'm Ron Burgundy.
already my head is.
So you had I don't know what the time was, but you had to answer the questions in a time limit, submit the test.
And that's it.
And I had to wait to hear back.
You had to wait to hear back?
I had to wait to hear back.
How long?
I'm not sure how long, but they did hear back eventually. I don't know what the criteria was. I don't know who got rejected from this test and who got accepted, but some people did. One of them is on YouTube, and he can talk about how weird the fucking quiz was.
It is hard to believe that there was actually a pass rate for this.
If you get one right. Well, what's right and wrong with some of these questions?
If there's philosophical, is the idea not supposed to be like this open-ended, that there is no.
But maybe they want to kind of
truth?
see how these people think philosophically. Do you believe in truth?
Who is recruiting these people? Who is this dude?
We'll get there. We're going to get there, Chris. We're going to talk about it. Some people have compared these kind of questions to questions you'd get asked if you went for an interview at Google. Because they want to see what type of personality you have and how you respond to absurd questions in a time-sensitive situation. Okay. So maybe that's what it was. But fuck me, it's weird that you were doing this on the dark web, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. After solving series of riddles to get you here. Dude. After the quiz, some people did get a response. Mm-hmm. And this time they were asked to do something comparatively simple. And I had a look at it, and it's not simple. The final step of the puzzle was to perform a code exercise. So they're basically told, here's the things that we want your code to do.
I'm sorry, I thought you said code exorcism there, whatever, where I listened to that. I was like, dude, stop. No more.
Yeah.
No. A code exercise?
Basically, we want you write code. You write code. Code do this.
Write code. Me.
Code work good, yeah?
Yes.
Basically, right?
I use many words.
And Chris, I had a look at the criteria for what the code had to do.
Because you write code, is that right?
Yeah, that's my job, right?
I
write code. Me write code.
Me no write code.
Code good. Make do a thing pewter. And the fucking criteria, they had so many things I had to do, and I was like, that's like a week of work for me, probably more.
Is it a week of work for you?
I don't work very hard.
Yeah, I was going to say because you take it easy, or is it a week of work?
Probably about a month. And they just had to do it in their own time and send it back. I don't know what the time limit was or anything like that.
Code absolutely baffles me.
Oh, lad,
how are you writing in code? How?
I understand it, and then if I look at a different language of code, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
It's like, do you ever see shorthand? Shorthand when it's wrote?
What's shorthand? Oh yeah, what journalists and stuff, right? Yeah,
my grandmother used to be able to write shorthand. Yeah, it's the strangest thing. Yeah, it's symbols and lines to represent words.
Yeah, because they're I know they're like,
If you're
I don't have to write the word consequence because I know that C with a fucking plus sign after it means consequence.
means consequence.
Yeah.
I'm like, how could you know that? C plus. That must
But
mean.
even if you did know that, I would have to go like, oh, I'm not going to write consequence here. I'm going to write C plus, and that would have taken longer than for me to write consequence. But
I
they're
could
just like
scrawl consequence. Yeah. Sorry.
Code isn't like that. I don't think. I'm always converting code back to like what the fuck I'm actually
you
going
are.
to try and do.
I'm not. I'm looking at.
But some of the
numbers
people here,
and
because
brackets.
they probably dream in code. Probably.
Dude, that's so weird.
Um,
Morse code.
Here's the fun part.
Oh yeah.
After they submit their code challenge,
I don't think there's a fun part. Their code challenge, like it's a game, dude.
Once they submit their code challenge, everything goes quiet.
So they don't hear anything.
They submit it. Allegedly, the invitation email was sent again.
This is weird. This is like some kind of like Netflix horror, dude. Like
Well, yeah.
You receive the email.
The invitation has arrived. Now the person on YouTube that I've linked to has said just went dark. Never heard from again. Was asked to be patient, I think, in a later email, and then just never heard anything ever again. Now, you may just say, "Well, he didn't make it. Code was shit. You didn't make it. They didn't get picked.
Yeah.
The other people got picked. You didn't get picked."
But why would they go dark?
Because they don't want to talk to him. He's stupid, obviously. Can't write good code. Code no good. Code do bad. But I don't know. Why did they go back? We're going to talk about why they potentially might have went dark in a little bit. Because Chris, this is early 2013. This has happened, right? A year
I'm
after.
heavily invested in this right now, dude.
So more radio silence kind of follows after the first puzzle. This is the second puzzle. The second puzzle has been solved. A lot of people are eagerly waiting January 5th, 2014. Because that's the date that they seem to drop their puzzles. January 5th, 2014 arrives, and there's nothing.
Oh.
Not a peep, not a
Nothing.
post, not even a whisper. January 6th, however, they put up a picture.
I think they're just toying with people's emotions.
Yeah, so I was trying to work out why not January 5th?
Was it to do with like a
January
leap
6th.
year or?
Yes.
Was it?
I think. I don't know. This is my own theory. But 2012 was a leap year. Mm-hmm. So January 5th, 2012 was 366 days until January 5th, 2013.
And is that a prime number?
No. I thought it was. I looked it up. It's not. But yeah, 366 days passed between the first and second puzzle. So 366 days passed between the second and third.
And that took us to January 6th.
Because 2013 isn't a leap year. That's why. But I was like, why the fuck wouldn't you just go on the day and date? Because like...
January 6th is also the religious epiphany, isn't it? Or one of them. It's a big religious...
Is it like the old Christmas before they changed the calendar?
Could be.
I think that is what it is.
Not the Ascension. No, it's the Epiphany, I think it is.
The Epiphany?
Something.
Something.
Big. I forget the name of it.
I mean, that is interesting that you mentioned that.
Is it?
It is.
Right.
Because this message that they sent is fucking weird. Okay. Right now, there's been a lot of weird stuff before now, right? Obviously.
It's all weird. From you started speaking, it's been weird.
But this message, so before it was very, very basic. It was just like, white text, black background. And it's like, hello, and we have a puzzle. We're looking for intelligent people. Do this. Bye-bye, 3301. This time, Chris, they say, Epiphany is upon you. Your pilgrimage has begun. Enlightenment awaits. So what the fuck are they taking? What did they take on January 5th?
What?
That made them miss the date and come out with this? It's gotten, like, yeah. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
You said cult.
Yeah.
And I read this and I'm like what is happening here?
Read that again. Read that message again.
Epiphany is upon you. Your pilgrimage has begun. Enlightenment awaits.
Dude, that's weird.
I remember in the first puzzle, we had the Holy Grail, we had King Arthur.
I'd love to say I know what the Epiphany is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Is that when...
I think you've just fucking worked it out, Chris.
Is that when the wise men left or something? The stable?
I don't know.
After visiting baby Jesus?
No.
Because that's when people take down their Christmas decorations.
Yeah, but that's because it was old. I always thought that was because that's old Christmas.
Yeah.
So it used to be on the 6th of January until they changed the calendars to go back by like... Remember the Julian and Gregorian calendars? Yes. That's what I always thought it was. But Jesus, I have no idea.
I always thought
Excuse me, I shouldn't be saying that because this is
Oh, no,
something
wait.
to do with Jesus.
Maybe they didn't arrive to the... Oh, no, they did arrive because they brought gifts. No, I think that's when they left again.
All I know is that I never
They're starting their pilgrimage.
I never put this together, this Epiphany thing before. Maybe that's why they said Epiphany, is because it was on January 6th. Maybe it's a Christian thing. Look, let's not get too bogged down. We're going to talk a little bit more about who these people are and based on the clues that we have about them. In just a little bit, I promise you. Because we have a third fucking puzzle that has just kicked off.
Okay.
CM Crack. Image hidden inside, or no, message hidden inside the image, which contains a book code, which we've seen before. This book is called Self-Reliance and Other Essays by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Oh, that's a famous, like a philosopher or someone like that. Yeah, because I know that from the TV show Criminal Minds. It always starts with a quote, and sometimes it's from
Ralph Waldo Emerson. I'm pretty sure he had a quote whenever you died in Call of Duty.
It used to pop up on screen. Yeah.
You know, so.
Like the Gandhi quotes and Sun Tzu quotes.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So don't say video games and
don't
TV
teach you anything.
Don't teach you anything, because obviously they do. We can't tell you who he is or what he's about, but we know that he is.
Waldo Emerson. Okay.
Yeah, he's
Great
got
name.
quotes. The book reveals another dark web page, Chris. We've seen this all before. More cryptographic puzzles, and honest to God, now I was reading through the solutions to these, and compared to the previous 2 years, just another tier of complexity. Like I just was lost. I couldn't even recognize some of the words they were describing. Really? Obviously, the core part of it, I was lost completely. But even the things that were talking about what was in it, I was like, fuck! I just scrolled right on down, Chris. So complicated. But basically, as each puzzle was solved, right, what was produced were these image files of, and it's so strange, image files of runes and text, and they look like pages of a manuscript, like of a really old manuscript written in like ancient runic or whatever. And every puzzle was revealing more and more of these pages. And by the end of all these puzzles having been solved, there was this 58-page document, 58-page book, essentially, manuscript. And it was titled The Liber Primus.
Liber, L-I-B-E-R or E?
Just E-R, Primus, P-R-I-M-U-S.
Similar to the...
Gematria Primus. That is Latin for first book. The first book.
Liber Primus is first book.
Or, Primus book, prime book, first book. Prime numbers, prime, there's so many associations.
Optimus Prime.
So, the Gematria Primus is actually relevant to solve this part of the puzzle. So they fucking laid it a year in advance, which is pretty nutty to me. I think the planning that obviously has went into this is insane.
By any chance, were these people showrunners for Lost?
No.
This sounds like something...
Lost is already over, actually, at this point, 2012, right?
Yeah, but this sounds like something like... Oh, we'll get to that in like 6 seasons' time. We'll answer that.
Should we get should we get in contact with Lindelof and Carton Hughes? Yeah, find out.
Dude, this is weird.
You know what's fun?
Yeah.
Is that even when you have the Gematria Primus, right?
Fun,
which translates like the runes into letters or numbers or whatever. You can get letters and numbers out of it. It's all still scrambled fucking noise. So you can how would you say it? You like translate the runes, but they're still encrypted with something. And we don't know.
How are they encrypted? In what way?
So like if you just like translate the runes into letters, all the letters are just nonsense.
It's just gobbledygook. Like A, X, Q, Y. Pure
nonsense. So it's like we don't have any usable information. We have letters, but they're still nonsense. So the pages are encrypted and they're fucking translated into runic. So basically we're left with this book filled with nonsense, and
you said this was the fun part?
This is the fun part. Well, that's it. That's where we're left. So like there hasn't been another link to another dark web page. There isn't another clue to follow. We just have the book.
Okay.
No invitation has been sent.
And this is the book from Ralph Waldo Emerson?
No. This is just like his book.
Oh, this is the 58-page.
This is the 58-page document. We don't know what this is.
But what's in it? What does the book read, or what's
nonsense?
Just all complete higgledy-piggledy.
All complete higgledy-piggledy.
Higgledy-piggledy.
There are like...
My goodness. 58 pages is a lot of nonsense, D.
Well, like, yeah. But this is what we're left with. Like, they've solved all the puzzles. Here is something, Chris, that they encountered on the way, right? So, like, I think this was sort of in the middle of working out these pages. Like, so much work. I feel so bad. So much work went into solving all of this. And they spent so much time and effort on it and digging through all the clues. And they just got this fucking document and they're like, this is nonsense, what the fuck. But have a listen. Got another audio file, which kind of was, I don't know where it was included, but at some point this helped solve one of the pages. So, what does that sound like?
Just white flames. Like steam?
Cicadas?
So it's just another full-length music production
4.5 minutes long
of just this, just looping.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll skip ahead. I go. I'm going to skip ahead, see where we go to.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there we go. What's going on?
That's some bizarro stuff right there, D.
There's all these like happening in the background.
Is this going to be another case of we put this music file in and out pops an image?
To be honest, Chris, I was so lost by how they were solving these riddles that all I know is that the music file was involved.
And where was this music file got again? Where did this music?
No idea.
Okay.
They just trying to solve it, trying to walk you through it, trying to walk myself through it. I couldn't follow it anymore. It got so complicated. Basically, I just wanted to include that because I was like, they made another fucking 4.5 minute song with actual music, like you heard it, like there was a rhythm, there was a beat, and to solve a code puzzle, to solve a fucking cipher. I don't know what the hell they did with it.
To code, you know.
But who made this?
I know.
Like if I could produce that, I would consider myself a musician. Essentially, I would consider myself. I can make music. I can't do that. Like, who the fuck? Are they hiring people to do this? Can they do it themselves? Did a computer make that? AI?
Oh yeah, was it done? Was it maybe done on like GarageBand?
Is it in the mainframe?
Ooh,
I don't know. I don't know the answers to these questions. It just freaks me out.
Was this Elon Musk?
Yes. You fucking did it. Look at it. It's all my notes were leading. My conclusions.
All signs point to yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Unfortunately, right, we get this Liber Primus 58-page document full of runes and nonsense.
Full of gobbledygook.
That's kind of all we get.
That's it.
After the final submission, all 58 pages were revealed. Cicada 3301 go silent. Radio silence. Most people, most solvers who were like following along,
involved with it, yeah.
They kind of figure, okay, they found their people, they sent out their invitations. Let's go. We'll wait for next year. Wait for the next puzzle. 2015 it would be at this point. Other people kind of figure, we got this 58-page document here. This is the final puzzle, and we're not gonna
release it. We're not gonna tell people.
No. We're not gonna get next year's puzzle until we finish this year's puzzle.
Oh shit!
Like,
okay.
we still got 58 pages of unsolved riddle puzzle here.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense, but then you have to think the Gematria Primus, the thing they revealed in the second year, it was used to solve the puzzle in the third year. So maybe that's what we're kind of dealing with here. Look at, we do find out January 2015 does arrive, and it goes without a word.
January 5th, nothing.
Nothing in January, period. Not a peep.
No.
Cicada is completely silent. Not even a notification to say like no puzzle this year because you haven't solved last year. Just pure silence. Leaving it up to the people themselves to make. Have we solved it? Have we not? Is there still something to be done?
So when is the next instance that we hear back from Cicada?
Well, 2015 comes and goes without anything.
Yeah.
2016 comes and there's still nothing.
Jeez. Now we're reading this and it's like 2015 comes and goes and we move to 2016, but that's a full year. That's
an entire year. Actually, a year and a bit since we last heard.
Like, and I know that's obvious saying that, but a year is a long time to wait if you're trying to, if you're invested in this.
And some people were. Some people are
Jeez.
invested still to this day. 2016, there's no puzzle, but they do send a message. And Well, I'll just read it to you.
Yeah.
Hello. The path lies empty. Epiphany seeks the devoted. Liber Primus is the way. Its words are the map. Their meaning is the road. And their numbers are the direction. Seek and you will be found. Good luck. 3301. And then at the bottom, just to really fuck with you in particular, Chris, just to freak you out and me, it says, beware false paths. Like,
Dude.
I know they're just talking about don't listen to like noise on the internet, but like it just sounds so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna walk me down a false path and attack me, Chris.
Dude, this
I'm
is
worried for my
weird.
life, and all I did was just read about the bloody thing.
So there's a 52 or 58 page manuscript full of runes and gobbledygook, and that is the actual, that's the key to solve. So this
It's
is
the
a
way.
map. It's the map which leads to the
The words of the map.
words of the map.
Their meaning is the road, and their numbers are the direction, which makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. There are numbers in the thing. It's not all just runes. There's numbers and shit as well.
Okay.
But man, it sounds so weird the way they're talking. The path lies empty. Epiphany
Seek and
seeks
you
the
will
devoted.
find. Yeah, that's weird. That sounds quite religious, quite cult.
Yeah.
Quite
Quite cult-like.
gospel-y kind of.
Just so
dude.
weird. So that was the last message. 2016 we got that. That's the last message that Cicada 3301 sent out with their valid little signature, their key, talking about the puzzle. They did come out with a message a few years later, but that was just to kind of deny any participation in like a big hack that happened.
Oh, okay.
So like they were like,
Well, like WikiLeaks or one of those.
something like, no, I think it was Planned Parenthood or something in America. Something got leaked and they were like, no, it wasn't. We weren't involved. We didn't do that.
that was nuts.
But
We're doing some other weird shit.
so right, 58 pages, right? 2014 it was released. The Liber Primus, 58 pages. 2022 today. That's 8 years nearly.
Yeah.
It'll be coming up on 8 years since this was revealed. 2 pages have been solved.
You're joking.
Yeah, 2.
How have only 2 pages been solved?
That's all that's been done. I don't
Is
know
it
how
not
to
like
tell
a
you.
case of getting a key and the key translates?
Maybe they just haven't found the key yet.
Jesus, dude.
2
2 pages out of 58.
Yep. The first page was another deep web website, or like a link or something, or a clue to it. They haven't actually found that website yet, so a lot of people think that's where the key is going to be. They just know it exists and they haven't found it yet. Maybe it went down. Who knows? The second page is more just weird shit, Chris. It it just says parable. Like the instar tunneling to the surface, we must shed our own circumferences, find the divinity within and emerge. Chris is shaking his head here.
This is just way too cult-like for my liking, dude.
It's a fucking cult.
This is like what lies under the Vatican. That's what this is, dude.
Yeah. It's
What
like,
lies?
what is going on here?
Dude.
I have no idea what any of it means, but the instar tunneling to the surface, if you remember, the song from the second year of the puzzle was called the Instar something or other.
Oh, the instar emergence?
The Instar Emergence, that's right. Yeah, the Instar Emergence, yeah. And it's talking about the Instar emerging. The Instar tunneling to the surface, sorry.
What the hell is the instar?
I have no idea.
Tunneling.
Talking about circumferences, I don't know. See, mathematicians will be digging into this, they'll be going, circumferences, that's something to do with pi, something to do with these numbers and trying to relate that to solving the code and doing all this. But to me, obviously, and I'm assuming you, it's just all noise and it doesn't make any sense. But that's kind of where we are. Like today, 2022.
To right now, this day, we're
this
recording.
day, this
we only
book-
have 2 pages.
We have two pages out of 58
Jesus, dude.
solved. But we still have people working on it.
Of course
we have like dedicated people.
The best minds for this.
We have the very best men on it. No, like people are like they're on chat rooms every night talking about it.
Have you visited any of these chat rooms?
No, I haven't. No, my information is based on a documentary on YouTube by Great Big Story.
Okay.
And they're following like 4 of these people, and like these 4 people are every day.
I'd love to see these chat rooms just to see what's been talked about.
Well, I think they're private, Chris. Because they're obviously want to work it out for themselves. But
would make sense.
These 4 people are like every night. They're constantly like going over the clues, reviewing, trying different methods. They've been speaking with professional cryptographers. Like we're talking about people who work for the NSA, FBI, CIA type of people. Like top tier cryptologists to try and get a clue, a hint, just to work a tiny little bit of the puzzle out.
So it's gone beyond like these people could have just created this by potluck to be so difficult. These are people that are in the know, maybe, or whoever has created this.
What's really cool is in that documentary, there's actually they interview the an NSA like community manager, and they're talking about like all this stuff, and he's like, the codes are very complex and blah blah blah, and they ask him like, is it something the NSA would have done? And he's like it's not something the NSA are doing. Like it's not something we're behind, but like I can't comment on as to what our employees might be doing, in a personal level. So you could be dealing with like NSA,
someone who's working on the inside.
We'll talk a little bit more about who and what.
Do we know who has done this?
No.
Fuck.
No, we don't. All we have is clues and like hints. Obviously, like what we're talking about here is like they're obviously fucking talented cryptologists, right? They know a thing or two.
But we can't narrow it down to a single person.
No.
Or group even.
Or even a group of people.
Fuck.
There's like ideas and there's theories and stuff that have certain some of them make sense. Yeah, some credibility.
They carry a bit of weight.
And there's other more fun ones which have no credibility, but they're still fun to talk about.
They're like it was the Titanic.
It was the Titanic. The ship.
The ship
the
itself.
Ship is just down there. It's just like setting up signals. I will have my revenge. Melt all the ice in the Arctic.
Who knows?
That's the end game. Melt all the ice in the Arctic. Fuck me.
But we all know the Titanic's not down there. It's a sister ship.
Well, that's true.
Titanic never set sail.
Tune in next week. We'll talk about the Titanic conspiracy.
It's still being built in Belfast.
It's still being built. But yeah, we don't know who they are, but we do know that they're out there. The people who are working on it, still trying to solve this document, 2 of them are alleged winners of the previous puzzles.
Okay.
So they're claiming that they've won it before. They've solved the prize, right? So yeah, like now we can kind of talk about what Cicada is.
Yes.
We have 2 people who allegedly have won it and communicated with Cicada. So we can maybe get a little bit more insight into who or what they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So a lot of theories. We've already talked about one of them, which is maybe it's someone in the NSA.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the NSA.
The NSA
itself. Like a big recruitment job.
Yeah.
Recruitment gig. A lot of people in the early days thought it was a game, like an alternate reality game.
Jeez.
And it was a marketing ploy or something. So get people interested.
Invest to get them.
Get them out in the real world and expose them to
like Pokemon Go.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of like Pokemon Go. But like it's been 10 years since this all started, and I don't see how anyone's made a dime off of this venture. So
nobody's actually making anything off of this yet.
Doesn't seem like they're. Where are they making money? All these people are like they're just doing
it off their own free will in chat rooms
individually. They're not like paying a subscription to somebody or some shit like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. There's no advertising revenue. Like, so
someone's just doing it just for the thrill. The
yeah.
thrill of the chase,
So yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't really buy that.
I don't. But yeah, it couldn't be someone who's just doing it. It has to be some kind of organization who are looking for
intelligent people.
Yeah, new people. Yeah, true.
A
recruitment.
Yeah, I think the fact that no one seems to be making money off of it, I would just rule out a lot of like
individuals
basically at that point.
Or you think it's not actual businesses?
I don't see why a business would do this if they're not going to be making money off of it. Maybe to recruit people in that sense, but yeah, like typical like retail businesses or like advertising companies and anything like that.
That's a top recruitment process. Like,
well, here is a theory that is pretty popular, has a bit of credibility.
Okay.
So the NSA said they didn't do it, but what if they did do it, or lying about it, and have used it to recruit employees, really talented employees, and basically get them on board?
Yeah, so they don't have to make it to the end as long as they got to a certain degree.
Yeah,
they're happy to take these individuals on.
Yeah, now we know you're talented, we know you're good.
That's strange.
Might be the NSA, CIA, FBI, any of those like government agencies. There's a great video by a guy on YouTube called Let Me Know. Have you ever seen him before?
No.
And he kind of puts out the idea that, you know, what do you call it, Interpol or something like that, or GCHQ, the intelligence agencies in Europe, they've done something like this before, but not shrouded in mystery. They've just done it on their website very publicly.
Just here you go.
Here's a recruitment puzzle, solve it, and you get an interview with us, basically.
Okay.
And the NSA have done similar things before, but again, they've done it openly, publicly.
No dark web bullshit.
No dark web, no mystery or
Cryptic
anything
messages.
like that. So I don't know, I wouldn't put it past any of them to do it this way, but it does seem weird that they wouldn't just do it publicly and say, we're going to pay you a bunch of money if you win, I would get more people to partake.
Yeah.
But if they're looking for really dedicated individuals who just care about, doing this type of stuff, that's what motivates them, maybe. I think more likely is that it's something like a hacker group, like Anonymous in the news recently because they're hacking Russia because of the war, and it's could it be someone like them just recruiting people, really talented people, come work with the group.
For all we know, that part of that Anonymous group at the minute is these people who have solved this puzzle.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought, man.
And I gotta say, I was watching a documentary, and some of the people who are today still solving this, they are insanely secretive. Ooh. One person, just their location is Middle East. That's it. No, they're not going to be more specific.
Middle East is a big area.
Well, that's it. Well, it's obviously a dangerous area as well,
yeah.
Probably, if you're doing this type of stuff. But they're they're doing the whole face covered, black background. You just see a shadow type thing talking. That's So they're pretty secretive people. That kind of makes sense. That it could be something like that, right? There is a note on that we're going to get to pretty soon. I'm just going to kind of go through all of the main candidates for who it could be.
Candidates, I like that.
Dude, you've kind of touched on already, right? Cultists.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know. Cultists are like QAnon. You know the QAnon thing? That's called? Or QAnon, whatever we're going to call it. A lot of people are saying although it's a way more recent thing than this, but get people following a puzzle, get them invested, and then start spouting all this fucking weird philosophical shit, which we've seen. Don't know what any of it means, but they're laying it on pretty heavy.
There's a lot of seek and epiphany.
And
stars.
That's mental reprogramming type of shit. It's sounds like what a Scientology. I feel like I'd read a lot of that if I was a Scientologist. Seek epiphany.
Can we rule Scientology out of this?
Probably not. Nah. Not completely, Chris. God. If we're considering cultists, why not? Could be the Scientologists.
Or there's another one, isn't it? The Church of the Scion or something like that?
Scion? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Could be Satanists. Who knows? Doesn't seem very Satan-y.
No.
But no. I don't know. I think I'm not super convinced it's cultists because I just think, is there just not easier ways to get cultists than this?
Yeah.
But it is a pretty convincing way to do it. If you get someone invested into it, they're gonna follow. You've seen it. People are just gonna follow it the whole way. They're gonna go till they get to the
lambs
end.
to the slaughter, dude.
Well, that's it. If you're good enough at the whole reprogramming, brainwashing stuff that they do in those cults, along the way, I could see it definitely working. But
it's pretty creepy, isn't it?
It is very creepy. You can see you get sucked in.
Yeah.
Because I'm intrigued as fuck. If I was better at this shit, I would have been doing it. But thankfully,
thank God you're not.
Thank God I'm only average.
Subpar.
Subpar. Come on, I'm average. I don't know. I don't know. Out of any of those, I don't think I have a really solid pick. I don't really think it's a cultist.
Could be the Catholic Church.
It could be the could
be the Vatican.
Why would it be the Catholic Church?
Why not?
I suppose.
What have they got to get? Maybe this is
how what are they going to gain?
Priests. There's a shortage of priests.
Making priests out of this?
Yeah.
Why would you need really technologically advanced priests?
Well, yeah, true.
You're going to start hacking their way.
Well, maybe that's the way that mass is going in the 21st century.
Yeah, you're going to hook in.
Yeah.
Plug in for mass.
Geez. Could be, what do you call him? Zuckerberg?
Could be Snowden.
Snowden?
You know, right now. WikiLeaks type stuff, Could Could be a group. Him. It could be him.
It could be him.
It could be him. Or a group like associated with. He was in prison for a lot. He was in prison.
Yeah.
When did he get arrested?
2016, wasn't it?
Was it 2016? Well, they went away in 2014. If he got arrested,
was it 2016? Maybe 2018.
I have a note here that when the whole thing went down with him was around this time. It could be Snowden.
Let me check
the individual Snowden, the man himself. I think we solved it. I think we just wrap a bow on this puppy. I think we got it.
We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We got it.
It's Ed Snowden. Ed Snowden.
Currently exiled in Russia. When was the?
I have no idea where he is at the minute. Is he even alive? Did he die? Snowden.
No. He's currently exiled in Russia. He is wanted in the US. He could serve 30 years. This was in 20. Maybe it's more recent. I have a funny.
He has been like
2020.
He's been hopping about. Like he was arrested maybe that recently, but like he was like living in exile in a couple of different countries. I think it was earlier. I think it was earlier that he like. I think he leaked. I think WikiLeaks happened earlier around this time.
Okay. Yeah, he was charged in 2013.
There you go. 2013. That's the last year they did it
with espionage.
No, they did it in 2014. They did do it in 2014, and it got really fucking weird in 2014. So maybe the stress made him go all metaphysical.
He left the USA in 2014.
You know,
dude, we're like going way down a rabbit hole.
We're probably going a little bit too deep. But here, if you're here considering people, consider Snowden. Could be Snowden.
Could be this whole metaverse thing that's coming.
Could be fucking Zuckerberg laying the groundwork early.
Super early, right?
Yeah, basically, all speculation. Like we haven't a fucking clue, really concrete clue.
Could be Elon Musk.
About it. Could be Elon Musk.
Dude's smart enough. He's got the money.
Oh, he's got the money.
He's like our modern day Batman.
He's doing it from Mars at the minute. He hasn't told people, but he's there already. The version of him here on Earth, just a robot.
Dude, that's weird.
Advanced. Cybernetic. No, okay, getting a little off track. Okay, here is the best evidence we have about who they are, what they're all about.
Okay.
I alluded to it before, promised you would come back to it. Here we are. The invitation. The email that they sent out to the winners in the first year. And allegedly was sent out in the second year.
Yeah, who is this invitation from? We don't know.
Cicada 3301, bitch.
That tells me nothing.
We don't know the individual. We don't know the person. It's all Cicada.
Okay.
That's all. I can tell you now conclusively, the only interaction that they had with the group, with the person, with the thing, it was just Cicada. All with Cicada 3301 or just 3301 in the early days. It's not. There's never a specific person.
Why did they choose Cicada?
Well, I don't know.
Is it like
we can talk about
Cicada is like a locust? It's got spreads?
Well, okay, I have a tiny little note about it, right? Might as well cover it now. The only thing that I have that tentatively links it is that cicadas have gestation periods that come in prime numbers.
Wow.
That's pretty
clutching.
That's pretty thin. But I have no idea. Maybe it's because it's just a weird looking animal.
Maybe.
And it only comes out like in prime numbers, and they're like, that's cool. Prime
it only comes out at night.
And it is a prime. 3301 is a prime number, so I don't know. Maybe it's the maximum gestation period that they have. Can they like hibernate for 3,301 days?
Maybe 3,301 hours.
Maybe 3,301 minutes.
3,301 seconds.
Doesn't matter.
Off topic again.
Don't know why it's Cicada. I probably should have investigated more. I apologize to everyone, but mainly to myself.
Yeah,
for not doing that.
Not even to me.
No. Well, you can kind of. You're just sitting there, so
I'll pick up the pieces.
Yeah. Invitation, allegedly sent. How do we know about it? It was leaked in 2012. Whenever one of the winners received it. Here's the weird part. There's always a weird part, Chris. There's always a catch. There's always a fucking extra little bit. The PGP signature, the key, the encrypted key that they always sent to validate that it was Cicada and not a copycat and an imitator, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't in the email that leaked. Right. So, what do we make of that? Do we trust it? What do we do? Now, the person who leaked it, they said the reason that the PGP signature wasn't there is because each signature was unique. So like each signature was different. Obviously, you could always interpret it, and it would come out the same on the other end to prove it was the right person. But each one that they sent out was unique. So if you leaked your email with the signature, Cicada would know who leaked it.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That's
Yeah.
smart, yeah. So the signature you have will be different from the one that I have.
Exactly.
So if I leak it, they know Chris Callahan's a tout.
Exactly.
Let's get him, boys.
Exactly.
Oh.
Even more than that, going even further, they had to remove all punctuation, all the full stops and the dots,
Why?
because apparently each email was worded slightly differently. Different punctuation, full stops in different places, new lines in different places, and so on. So that again, even if you got rid of the PGP signature, they could still trace who leaked what based on the very specific format of the
Okay.
email.
So they got rid of that.
So that what they leaked was just like kind of like a square, like
Just block of text.
yeah, like a word would just end in the middle, take a new line. You know, it's all
Yeah.
just like block of text basically, no punctuation or anything, or change punctuation. They're just basically messing around. So yeah, like it's just fucking weird. However, in 2019, much later, another email was found. So it leaked earlier, but they only found like an image of it much later, and it had full PGP signature. It was legit. It had leaked, and it was virtually identical to the one that leaked.
Why didn't they find this any sooner?
Don't know. So whoever leaked it, like they leaked it and they put it up on a fucking website, and maybe someone just discounted it and says, "Nah, it's bullshit." And it wasn't until 2019, which just kind of shows you how
How
yet
recent
people
this
were still
was,
looking
yeah.
for clues that they actually found it. So we have the email, and it allegedly tells us a little bit about Cicada, what they are, what they're about.
Go on.
So I'm going to read it verbatim here.
Thank you.
You have all wondered who we are, and so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name, we have no symbol, we have no membership rosters. We do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves, much like you have by completing this recruitment contest. And we are drawn together by common beliefs. A careful reading of the text used in this contest would have revealed some of these beliefs. That tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. We are not a hacker group, nor are we a wares group. We do not engage in illegal activity, nor do our members. And that's what they say.
That's it.
That's what they say there. There is more to the email. I've skipped out. I've kind of just read
Okay.
the relevant parts.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more that they mention later on. Our primary focus is on researching and developing techniques to aid the ideas we advocate. Liberty, privacy, security. You have undoubtedly heard of a few of our past projects.
Oh.
So, yeah. So they're not hackers. So they would say they're not anonymous, basically. They say they don't do anything illegal. And they don't want any of their members to be illegal, to do illegal things. And if any of their members do or have done illegal things, they want them to stop or leave, basically.
Okay.
So part of this invitation is like, you are agreeing to do all these things, not do illegal activity and so on and so forth, and to advocate liberty and privacy and all that shit by accepting, essentially. So that seems to be what they're all about. Their big kind of trinity is like privacy, security, liberty, freedom, essentially. Which screams to me fucking Snowden. Now that we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's what
But
he's all about.
but they said they haven't done anything illegal.
Yeah, well, I mean, suppose it depends on your
On your definition,
your point of view, doesn't it? It's like, is it illegal to reveal information?
Public information.
Even if it's not public,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's
But to
redacted
make it-
or security, or whatever. Is it illegal to reveal information? So, like they say, they believe that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an inalienable right. So, I don't know how those two.
Yeah.
You know, you can't censorship anything, but you can have everything to be private. So, I don't know. And they did tell all of their members not to share this email. But censorship is also wrong. And
But somebody clearly leaked
information
the
should be
email.
freely available. Yeah. So, what they describe themselves as in this email, which I think you can probably believe because of it leaked with the the right signature. It definitely came from them. That's what they are. They're just like a group of people, which makes sense because they're worldwide. I would say they're worldwide.
And they say that they had to once prove their worth to get to there.
Had to do something similar.
Yeah.
And they say that you've heard of their projects.
Of their other projects.
Which is weird to me because, like, what the fuck?
WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been WikiLeaks. Could be. I don't know if WikiLeaks is still a thing, but yeah, could be to this day WikiLeaks. Yeah, it's fucking... It's weird.
What other big projects has there been like that? Like any big like?
I don't know. Like maybe like Wikipedia. I know. I'm just following the wiki thing now.
But has there been any other big like release of information or
the
like
Panama Papers? Remember that came out?
That's right.
That was a big thing. I don't know.
They seem like a group who are intent on sharing information that has maybe been made not public.
Yeah.
You know,
I think so. Yeah. I think they say that in the email as well, that they believe that information should be shared, basically. That information, there should be no secrets. And then they also say that privacy is an inalienable right.
Could just be anonymous.
Because wasn't there big leaks lately, or back at this time, about like privacy being, like, like the NSA. That's what it was. That was WikiLeaks, right? It was like NSA is listening in on conversations all over the place.
Who released the Epstein stuff?
I don't know.
Or did that just come to light because a girl or a woman maybe?
I think maybe he just got arrested or whatever.
That wasn't leaks.
The Epstein papers. I have no idea.
Sounds very kind of culty.
But it sounds like that's what they're about. And it doesn't sound like they're affiliated. They say they have no name, so they probably wouldn't consider themselves to be.
It doesn't even sound like Freemasonry or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of does.
Illuminati, maybe?
It kind of does sound Freemasonry in terms of like what they believe. And like
Freemasons believe all this stuff too, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if they believe it, but like kind of like
that's like their code of honor.
Yeah, we have like a core belief system that we have to uphold at all times. That type of way. So even if it's not Freemasonry, but it sounds like that kind of like idea of like once you're part of us, like we're all over the world and you can come and we'll look after anyone, but you have to uphold these 3 things, and if you don't, you're out, basically.
It was like what was that? What was that club in Fallout 4? Like the Boston. Do you remember you go to it? You go to the. That doesn't matter. You go to the club, and it's like a big winery basically, and it's like a gentleman's club. It's just called the Boston Gentleman's Club or something.
I have no idea.
There's a cool quest in there. It's basically all this shit.
I should go check that out.
Yeah. It's right next to Swan's Pond.
Should have done that as research for this, obviously. So I mentioned already that 2 people solved it. Or claim that they solved it, and they're still working on the 58-page document to this day. They have like done interviews and stuff and documentaries, which I've mentioned. You should check those out. And one of them actually is on YouTube he calls himself Nox Populi.
Oh, okay.
And he's done videos walking you through the puzzles and talking about his experience and stuff. So they actually have, like, obviously they have really good insight about what the group Cicada is and what they do. The best one is Marcus Wanner. He's pretty crazy. He worked out the puzzle, solved the entire puzzle, got to the end, got the invitation. He's 15 years old.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Does that make you feel shit about yourself? A little bit?
That was the kick in the crotch I didn't need.
15 at the time.
Dude.
And,
what?
He got in. He got in. He became a member of Cicada. He describes it as a loosely knit group of people.
How do we know he's a member of Cicada? He just says he's a member of Cicada?
Well, that's it. Obviously, he says he's a member, and that's kind of all you have to go.
Sounds like something a 15-year-old would say, though, doesn't
Well, he's not 15 anymore.
Oh, true.
He's 25 now and is working actively on solving this to this day. But he claims his experience was basically he got an email invitation to a website, a private website. I don't know if it was Darknet or not. And on that website, he could communicate with all these other people.
How is he a member of Cicada if he's still trying to solve this?
Well, we'll talk about that. So he says it was a loosely knit group of people. So like they didn't really know each other. They weren't like, well connected and like really good friends or anything. And they were working together on these like various projects. So they were basically assigned a project to work on. Something to do with security and freedom of information, all that stuff. And that they would work on that while being supervised by more senior members of the group.
That's weird.
So I think he was working with other contest winners, basically. And then the other members were the ones who were like previously already members.
Okay.
And like they were basically they were just working from home, like joining this website
Yeah.
to chat over text. I don't think they ever spoke or anything. It was all still very anonymous, very private. He claims that the organization was like hierarchical, so there was
somebody
people
above
senior
him,
him,
yeah.
right? And there was people senior to them, and don't know, someone was at the top or
Snowden.
some sort of a group of them were at the top, right? And then he says that it was cell based as well. So he was in a cell, and he only knew the other people in that cell, and that was it. Doesn't know who else is working on other projects in other parts of the organization. So super anonymous, super private, right? And obviously each member had a different username, which wasn't their real name or their online profile name either.
Snowden 123.
Yeah.
Snowden 99.
Yeah. I'll never work it out. So yeah, he says basically he become a member of it, and that was great. But the thing is, when they were a member and they were working on a project, they weren't solving a puzzle anymore, right? So the puzzle had been solved. So like the thing that was making you go, the motivation for continuing, that ended, and now it was just working on a project. And he says like over time, people just kind of stopped joining the chat.
Just fizzled out. Yeah.
They didn't have that motivation, that draw that they had. So it was all well and good. You remember Cicada, blah blah blah, work on this. But now they were like, I don't really care to work on that. Like I just
want to solve puzzles. Yeah.
He says he was actually quite invested, and he really wanted to, like, they were working on this particular project. He really wanted to see it through, but by the end, like, it was just him working on it, and like he basically had written the whole thing himself.
I think he's working for free as well.
Yeah, he's working. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this kid's fucking 15, like, or whatever he was at the time. So he's working, for free. There's very little like motivation to keep going if you're like a full-time employee, right?
Yeah.
So he says everything kind of just like fizzled out, and in mid 2013, the site that they were using to communicate just was gone. So when he tried to go back onto it, it was just gone at that point.
Right.
And he does mention, Mr. Warner here mentions that it was around the time of the Snowden disclosures that the site went down.
Well.
Mr. Snowden, we meet at last. So, but he does also say that it was fizzling out, like it was dying.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
it didn't have the puzzle that it used to have.
Exactly. It wasn't like the site just went down while they were working on something.
Slowly started dying.
He said the project was already dead before the site went down. So it may have just been take the site down because they're not doing anything anymore, or maybe, maybe Snowden got caught and they killed the organization. But 2013, the site went down. They did do a puzzle in 2014. And it was the biggest one yet, and it's the one that remains unsolved.
Maybe Snowden had that one on backup.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe in case anything ever happens, release this. Maybe it's all a plan to get him out of jail.
Dude, imagine like if they solve this fucking book and it's all the documents that were too dangerous to release.
That'd be so weird.
We gotta work out this document, Chris.
God.
We gotta get to work right after this.
Yeah, we're going straight in. All nighter. I don't even know what we're looking for, dude.
The other winner that I mentioned was that guy Nox Populi, who's on YouTube. I recommend you check him out if you're interested in this at all. He claims that after receiving the invitation, he was asked to remain patient. I kind of mentioned that. And that was it. He was asked to remain patient, and a few months later, just communication stopped. Again, he mentions that it was around the same time as the Snowden disclosures, and it's around the same time that Marcus Warner says the website went down. So mid 2013, this is kind of when it seemed to have stopped. It seemed to have ended, which would make sense to me, I think, if there wasn't a pulse in 2014.
Yeah,
it would have made perfect sense that the organization just fizzled out.
But then 2014, as you said, the biggest puzzle yet came back.
The biggest puzzle yet. Yeah,
it was like maybe it was like a fail-safe. Like maybe try to keep this thing going. Worst case scenario. I
don't know. I just think that there was a group. I think there's more, like the whole cell-based organization. Yeah,
that's weird.
The whole point is a cell can die.
Yeah,
but the rest will continue on, basically, because they're not affected.
But if Snowden's gone,
yeah,
cut off the head of the snake.
Yeah. I mean, so some people just think that's what happened, right? They think that it fizzled out, it ended like they had year 3 planned, they just did the puzzle, and now no one can solve it because they're not giving out the right clue, and it's just that's it, it's just over. But I don't know. I don't know. I think
You don't believe it. You think
I think somewhere, excuse me, somewhere far enough up the line, like someone was planning to do another recruitment and get it through, but they just didn't have the numbers. I think they're still kicking about, and they have 2017 or 2016, they have sent messages out saying like, we weren't involved in this hacking attack, blah blah blah. So like they exist, or as of 2017, they existed. So I don't know. They didn't completely fizzle out if they were fizzling out, I think. And regarding the Liber Primus, the 58-page document, like it is still to be solved. That's the status of it at the moment. And there's still a full community behind trying to solve it. And as I mentioned, there's those really dedicated 2 previous winners and another group
highly motivated individuals
they are on every night, hours at a time, just trying to find a clue, trying to find anything that will unlock the puzzle.
Dude.
The last communication, the last verified communication that we got from Cicada 3301 came April 29th, 2017, and it simply states, "Beware false paths." And that's it.
That's like something you would say if your leader was incarcerated.
I mean, maybe.
No, beware false paths is super weird.
Yeah, and that's the last thing they say. It says beware false paths, and then it has always verify using the signature that they always do. So although it's been 5 years nearly, well, it's coming up 5 years this April, it sounds like they're still kicking about and they're still waiting for. The message wasn't. It wasn't. Don't trust other messages. It says beware false paths. They're talking about the path from the Liber Primus. That's what they're talking about. They're still talking about it.
Beware false paths.
They're still. I 100% believe they're still waiting for the Liber Primus, the puzzle to be solved. And if it does,
such a creepy way to put things, isn't it? Like, it's such
they're fucking masterful at that shit, man. Beware false paths, enlightenment.
It makes you want to know more, like.
And that is it. That is the last communication we have. Beware false paths.
And that's where Cicada 3301 dies. For now,
it's not dead. Yeah. It's not dead. It's still there, but that's the last we've heard. That's the last official message that we have.
Weird stuff.
And we're still waiting, Chris. I hope to God.
I hope we can revisit this in the not too distant future.
I hope like Forest Fen, we get an update in like a year.
Yeah.
And we get to talk
about the next piece has been solved.
Yeah, what has happened and what's changed, and maybe they'll solve it. Who knows? And I really hope as well that they like come public at some point and just be like, yeah, now that they've solved this, like this is what Cicada is, and this is what we've done, and like they keep operating, because I think that's just really cool that they exist out there. I mean, I don't know if I should actually feel that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing, but I just think it's cool nonetheless. I think it's cool in the same way I think it's cool that the Freemasons are like all over the fucking place. Like I don't particularly like the Freemasons or care about them,
but the fact that there's an operation that's still an organization that's
for
still
hundreds
operating,
of years, that's still kicking. It's pretty cool. If you did enjoy that little story, I don't think it's little at this point. It's like 2.5 hours long. I would check out on YouTube. Let me know, LEMMINO. Just search for him, Cicada 3301. He has done a terrific video on it.
Okay.
Not as in depth as what we've done, but just like really goes across the points, and it's just a really entertaining video. To go more in depth, check out Nox Populi. Again on YouTube, he's one of the alleged winners, and he'll go through solving the puzzles. And
you'll link these in the video version, will you?
This will all be linked. This will all be linked, and it'll be linked on the audio version as well if you want to check it out.
Excellent.
And I have a link for a website which will walk you through the puzzle, the first puzzle, and solving it if you want to do it yourself. And then the wiki, which is like, this is where the community of solvers kind of like have written. No, it's kind of where they've written down the order of events. Like this is what happened, and these are the puzzles, and all the communications, and all the images, and all the videos, and
it's all there.
Soundtracks, it's all on there. Check it out. It has all the information you could ever possibly want regarding this. Far too much information, because Alice, you will fall down the rabbit hole. I guarantee it.
That was incredible. That's incredibly detailed. What you just brought me there as well. That's a lot to see again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fascinating, man. You'll find yourself thinking about it now in a couple of days, and you'll just be like, I can't believe that shit exists. That's happening.
And people still believe that we aren't being bugged and stuff. Like, come on, people.
Oh, dude. that documentary that I don't actually have a link for, but I will add that. A Great Big Story. It's again on YouTube. They literally interview the NSA, and it's like the NSA is just like hand waving away, like, oh no, we don't do anything illegal. It's like, no, we just listen in on every single phone call ever made ever.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's totally legal. It's covered by the Patriot Act, and you're just like, the way they like the fact that they can say that they're doing it and just be like,
get it. Yeah,
it's not illegal. It's fine. Man, the illegal stuff that they are doing must be insane.
Yeah,
if that's what they're doing, and it's fucking legal,
and it's legal.
There's no chance they're not doing illegal stuff. They're always at it. Can't trust that fucking.
Can't trust
the
US
US
government. No, I know.
But maybe it's a good thing. God knows
imagine what kind of documents like could be released from this Liber premise.
I mean, I don't think it's that. I think it's probably just the next part of the puzzle.
You think so?
I think so. But Jesus Christ, imagine it was like really incriminating evidence.
Incriminating evidence of what, though?
I don't know. Like, I mean, didn't Snowden...
Like people in high places?
Yeah, it's like that's what Snowden did. He was just like, listen, like, your government is spying on you.
Yeah.
Here's a classified document that
why did he get locked up for that, though?
Because it was a classified... He's stealing classified documents from intelligence agencies, so it's technically treason. And it's like, yeah. I mean, that's why a lot of the world is kind of like, yeah, he shouldn't be going to jail at all, really, for that. But America's like, no, it's treason. He's going to go away for life. Because they have to defend the fact that
it's very
sensitive.
Yeah.
Documents. Anyway, Snowden's another potential podcast.
Yeah, WikiLeaks is another entire thing. There was a lot of topic ideas that have come out of that already.
Yeah. Let us know, actually. If
Freemasons, Snowden. There was another one in there.
Anonymous, I think.
Anonymous. There was another one, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." And now I forget. I'll have to listen back.
If anyone was listening, comment back and tell us what it was.
Yeah.
And anything else that you would want us to cover in this vein, or anything else.
Yeah.
Just random.
I'd actually like to keep this vein going for a couple of weeks now that I'm kind of invested in it.
Yeah, it might be good.
Oh, dude, that's going to annoy me what that was. I'll
have
to listen back.
There is another code that I was going to look at called the Kryptos code, and it's literally there. It's a physical. It's like a statue or sculpture on the CIA headquarters, and it's there, and it was a code that was written to be solved, and they haven't solved it yet. And it's like it's
quite heavy, that isn't it? Like that whole everything that we've just been through. It's quite heavy. If you made it to the end of this episode, well done.
Yeah,
it is heavy. Like it's a lot to listen to. I feel drained in a good way, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That I've taken a lot in.
I've just dropped a lot of information on you there.
Oh.
And it's not easy to digest either. It's like complicated shit.
And as you say, you have broke that down into very manageable bite-sized chunks.
I've just completely I haven't broken anything down because I have just skimmed right over the top.
Yeah.
Just to physically
dude, that's a lot.
Cover it.
That's a lot.
Do check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to everybody who's listened to this episode. Remember, you can find the video version over at youtube.com/emptypromisepodcast, and the audio is available on any podcast hosting service. If you listen to us anywhere where you can give us a thumbs up or rating, or even just like the video version, please do that, because that would help us out tremendously in the grand scheme of things when it comes to podcasts and being discoverable. But thank you to all our listeners from all over the world who are tuning in this week.
Mm-hmm. And any listeners who are members of certain secret online organizations, your secret safe with us. It's fine. Got you covered.
Absolutely. You want to do some closing thoughts before we wrap this one up? Tell me how your day looks. Tell me what you're going to get up to.
I tell you what, actually.
Yeah, go on.
In the vein of all of this,
I'm
going to go a completely different direction with it.
Go on.
Might go see the Batman tonight.
Yes, absolutely.
I've heard really good things.
3 hours.
Yeah.
It's a big ass movie.
That is a big ass movie.
Whereabouts you got to see it?
No idea yet. I just discussed it last night with Laura. I was like, we should go tomorrow.
Do you know, just in keeping with the theme of things last week, to shit on all over Odeon again, did you know that they're being, I read this week, that they're being criticised for adding the £2.50 surcharge to their blockbuster movie ticket prices?
Oh, what is this? $2.50 extra for what?
For blockbuster movies, for tickets.
For like Spider-Man or...
in this case, the Batman. So instead of your ticket charging, say a £10 standard ticket, if it's a blockbuster, you're going to pay $12.50.
So if I went to go see like...
if you want to go and see, for example, tonight, you want to go see The Dog with Channing Tatum, it's going to cost you £10. If you want to go see the Batman, it's $12.50. People have shat all over this.
Money
They
hungry
brought
bastards.
this out. Do you know when they started this? Whenever the cinemas first reopened after lockdown.
I bet, and it was like, oh, we just need that money to get
to
through
get back
this.
on our feet.
Yeah,
The
and
biggest
it'll never
cinema
go
chain,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
But did you see the wonderful cinema that's coming to Castlecourt in Belfast?
No.
It's called the Avenue, and it's not just a cinema. It's a bespoke luxury family.
Oh.
No, not.
Family
I know.
ruined
As soon
it.
as you,
It's ruined.
no, I'm sorry, it's gone. Just check it out. Just check out what the Avenue,
The Avenue.
is.
Okay.
You know.
Do they do food? Can I have food in the cinema?
Pre-order pizzas
Fuck yeah.
to your seat.
Fucking get there.
Hot dogs,
I'm in.
popcorn,
Yeah.
drinks,
Okay.
beer, wine,
Yes.
cocktails.
Oh no.
Watching a movie. I know I'm not a
no.
fan of cocktails, but still.
No,
the
it's not.
option.
It's not the cocktails. It's the fucking drunk people watching a film.
Yeah.
Fucking, he did it. Look at him. Can't. I don't know if I could do that. That happened at the time we went to the cinema and a guy brought in 2 bottles of wine.
No.
2 bottles of wine.
2 bottles of wine. He was there to get that. Jesus, dude.
We went in and we like just took.
What was the movie?
Oh my god, I remember.
Because to
so
clear
well.
2 bottles of wine in like over the course of a night is pretty decent.
Let me paint a picture for you. So we walk in and we go to take our seats, and I was sitting. I don't know if it was me or one of the boys, but someone sat down and there was a bag with bottles at our feet, and we were like,
Clink,
"Oh
clink.
shit!" And this guy walks in. I don't want to be stereotypical or nothing, but he was wearing trackies, right? And he was wearing a full tracksuit, matching blue navy tracksuit, right? And he was like, I think he was a little bit on it already at this point. And he was like, like that's mine, basically. We're like, all right, no worries. I think he sat in the seat in front of us. We handed it forward. He was like 2 seats in front of us, something like that. And that was fine. Obviously, I had a look at what the bag was in the bag as we were passing it forward. 2 bottles of fucking wine, probably the cheapest you can get.
Yep.
That was grand. So he sat down.
Toilet wine.
He was drinking his wine as we watched, fun, good movie to get a bit of buzz on. 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, Jesus, dude. No, was it actually 12
It's 12 Years a Slave. I remember it distinctly because it was fucking 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, dude.
And oh Jesus Christ! Obviously, he got pissed during the middle of it, and he was wrote. And he wasn't too bad for the first half, but then he started commenting on things, and he's like, "Oh, it's desperate what they're doing." And he did say it. He did say it's desperate what they're doing to those.
No.
He did.
Stop.
He 100% said it, Chris.
Stop
right
it.
there in the
Stop
cinema.
right there. Stop.
That was shortly before he lit up a cigarette. And
What a gentleman.
he lit up a fucking cigarette. And
What
just
a
happy as I smoked away, finished it, went to go to the toilet, and then never came back. I think they obviously asked him to leave at that point.
So no one came in when he was smoking a cigarette?
No one came in.
And nobody...
To be fair, now look, we're the ones who knew he had 2 bottles of wine. If we wanted to complain, we're the ones to do it. We knew.
Were you the
kind
only
of
people in the screen?
No, there was more people behind us.
But
as well.
nobody complained about the cigarette smoking?
No, said a word. No
incredible.
one got up. Everyone was watching 12 Years a Slave, to be fair.
I don't want to approach the drunk guy in the tracksuit smoking.
No one wanted to
in
tell him to
cinema.
stop because he was commenting at certain points.
Yeah.
He knew he was wrote at that point. And so we kind of left it. And then I think had it continued and gotten worse, probably would have got up and complained. But because he went to the toilet and never came back, we were like, he's been told to fuck off at that point. But Jesus Christ, that just reminded me of that.
That's
little
impressive,
nugget.
dude.
And that was in the Dublin Road Cinema in Belfast.
Oh, nice.
Which no longer exists.
No, I can see why.
Got knocked.
They were quite liberal with their restrictions.
Yeah, it was a good cinema though. I do miss it, but
You used to see shit like this all the time, like when I worked at the cinema. You'd see this kind
yeah.
of, but never that. That's good.
that's good.
Like that's a great story. Like I would never have.
Well, see, Chris, I know if you had been working at that cinema, that wouldn't have happened
No,
because you would have seen someone smoking in there. Just get that fucker out of here.
I was much too on it. We were
You're
much.
like,
too
I don't
on
want the cinema going experience to be ruined for our other patrons.
That's fantastic.
Thank you very
I like that. That was a nice story to kind of finish
yeah.
this episode.
I hope
on.
that doesn't happen tonight.
Tonight, yeah. Where are you going to see this?
Not sure, but
Okay, fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been episodes 127 of the podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope it's found you well. Please leave that like or comments or whatever you want to do. That will help us out greatly. Leave a rating if you're listening to somewhere where you can rate the podcast. Thank you to everybody all around the world who has tuned in. It means the world to us. D, I think that's all I got to say.
yeah. Thanks, everyone.
You happy enough?
I am.
Okay, let's cash this one out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll see you all next week on the podcast. Goodbye and God bless.
Bye bye.